Wait to experience the difference our team at Montgomery Men's Health can make. Do it for your career. Do it for your family. Do it for your love life. Do it for you. Because the most meaningful present you can give is a man who is fully present. To give the gift of you this year, call now 334-440-3663 or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to set up a consultation and lab panel today.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's Conversational Radio Show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
What the hell are we doing here?
We are behaving the way a superpower ought to behave.
Well, our behavior has produced some crappy results.
Stop playing with it.
This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy?
This afternoon, we've seen a whole lot of table banging.
I got worms. I got hairy legs.
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by gold. You know the thing. Those days, you used to remember the straight razor. You'd bang them on the curb, get them rusty, put them in a rain barrel, get them rusty. And I looked at.
I'm particularly glad that these lovely children were here today to hear that speech. Not only was it authentic frontier gibberish, it expressed a courage little seen in this day and age.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the studio with me. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Merry Christmas, Joey.
And a Happy New Year.
Yeah, we're going to have a good New Year.
I think we are. I think we're going to power through 2024. And even if the world goes to hell all around us, we're still going to enjoy our doom.
But of course.
But I'm not predicting doom by any means.
I hope not. No doom and gloom.
Maybe next week we'll start doing predictions.
Of doom and gloom.
Yeah, what's going to actually happen in 2024. And there's plenty of news to get to today, folks. But I wanted to start with words that are not my own. These are the words of actually one Judge Andrew Napolitano. And he sent me this early. It is now out today. But the name of his op-ed this week is What If Christmas is Real?
All right.
What if Christmas is real? What if Christmas is a core belief in the birth of Jesus Christ, who lived among us and many times offered a freely given promise of eternal life that no believer should reject or apologize for? What if Christmas is the rebirth of Christ in the hearts of all believers? What if Christmas is the potential rebirth of Christ in every heart that will have him, whether currently a believer or not? What if Jesus Christ was born about 2,000 years ago in Bethlehem? What if he is true God and true man? What if this is a mystery and a miracle? What if this came about as part of God's plan for the salvation of all people? What if a central teaching of Christianity is that the maker of the universe is a man who came to live among us? What if the man God wants his love to radiate through us to others, even to the unlovable? What if Jesus came into the world to atone for our sins by offering himself as a sacrifice? What if he was sinless? What if his life was the most critical turning point in human history? What if the reason we live is that he died? What if the government thought he was crazy when he said he was king, but his kingdom was not of this world? What if he was not crazy but divine? What if, when he said that he could forgive sins, he was referring to himself as God? What if he is one of the three persons of a triune God? What if this is a theological mystery? What if there is no power without mystery? What if the power he possessed, he exercised only for the good? What if he truly gave sight to the blind, hearing to the deaf, musculature to the lame, hope to the disillusioned, courage to the weak, freedom to the unjustly imprisoned, and life to the dead? What if he freely did these things, but sought no acclamation for them? What if after each of these miracles he disappeared into the temple precincts or walked well past the crowds, lest the crowds anoint him as a temporal or secular leader? What if there was in his towering personality a deep thread of shyness? What if he was shy about his godness? What if he was shy about his goodness? What if he loved saving us? What if he was joyful but did not want to see us to see his joy? What if he knew all along how profoundly untimely and utterly painful the end of his life on earth would be, but he neither feared nor avoided it? What if his greatest display of love was self-restraint on the cross? What if he was murdered by the government because it feared a revolt if it did not eliminate him? What if after he died, he rose from the dead? What if most of the world that he came to save has rejected him? What if he still loves those who have rejected him? What if he still offers them salvation? What if his offer is real and forever? What if many folks today have rejected the true God for the government as God? What if the government as God has set itself up as providing for all secular needs in return for subservience? What if this seductive offer has been accepted by millions in America today? What if the acceptance of the government as God has ruined individual initiative, destroyed personal work ethic, fostered cancerous laziness, enhanced deep poverty, and impelled thoughtless obedience to the government and those who have accepted it? What if the blind acceptance of the government as God chills the exercise of personal freedom for fear of the loss of the government's munificence? What if the government is only generous with money it has taken from those who work and earn it? What if it's then given to those who don't? What if charity only comes from a good heart? What if it is impossible to be charitable with someone else's money? What if Jesus came to set us free from the yoke of government oppression and the chains of personal sin? What if freedom is our birthright, given to us by the true God, not by the government as God? What if the true God made us in his own image and likeness? What if the greatest likeness between us mortals and the true God is personal freedom? What if, just as God is perfectly free, so are we perfectly free? What if we have failed to preserve freedom and have permitted governments to take it from us? What if we can never pursue happiness fully or know God completely without personal freedom? What if the world was full of darkness before he came into it? What if there is much darkness still today, but some glimmers of light? What if those glimmers of light are from places of faith in him? What if those places of faith in him are also places of joy? What if we recognize that he is the light of the world? What if Christmas is the birthday of the Son of God and the Son of Mary? What if we recognize the presence of the Son of God and the Son of Mary in our hearts and among us? What if the God as baby, whose birthday we celebrate, is the Savior of the world? What if we don't hide this, but live it? What if the baby born of Mary 2,000 years ago really is the Savior of the world? What if the Son of God and the Son of Mary really can dwell in our hearts? What if the peace of Christ is the joy of hope realized? What if we can know Christ personally through reason and revelation? What if Christmas is real? Merry Christmas to all. Again, not my words, the words of Judge Andrew Napolitano. You know, I love talking politics with him, political theory, and the latest with all these legal battles and what's coming up in 2024. But hope now you know where the man's coming from. I thought it was a message after reading it that I wanted to share personally.
That's good.
Well, and I now want to move on. Excuse me for all the reading, but I think this is the time of year where you reflect. And, you know, what if Christmas is real? What if it could dwell in the hearts of men? Well, it's not just a hypothetical. It's not just a thought experiment. This is from a fellow named William Grigg. Will Grigg. He is no longer alive. He died a few years back, sadly. But Will Grigg was one of the most passionate activists for liberty I've ever run across. And not only was he constantly showcasing his giving heart and his love for others, especially folks who are powerless. Will Grigg did many stories on, say, the abuses in resources departments, especially against children. He unveiled a lot, especially in the west of this country, of how some of the powerless were being abused. Just a beautiful soul. But Will Grigg was also an amazing writer. And so I was looking through a few, like many people have told this story, the Christmas truce of World War I. Mm-hmm. And I read a few this morning, and I ran across Will Grigg's. I'd never read it before. And as soon as I saw the name, William N. Grigg, I was like, oh, I know this is going to be good. So I want to share this in part now. We're going to have to hit a break, and we'll continue on with this. But this is a history you should know, and I think gives voice to the reality of Judge Napolitano's what if. In August 1914, Europe's major powers threw themselves into war with gleeful abandon. Germany, a rising power with vast aspirations, plowed across Belgium, seeking to checkmate France quickly before Russia could mobilize, thereby averting the prospect of a two-front war. Thousands of young Germans, anticipating a 6-week conflict, boarded troop trains singing the optimistic refrain, "Excursion to Paris, see you again on the boulevard." The French were eager to avenge the loss of Alsace and Lorraine to Germany in 1870. The British government, leery of Germany's growing power, mobilized hundreds of thousands of young men to teach the Hun a lesson. Across the continent, writes British historian Simon Rees, millions of servicemen, reservists and volunteers rushed enthusiastically to the banners of war. The atmosphere was one of holiday rather than conflict. Each side expected to be victorious by Christmas. But as December dawned, the antagonists found themselves mired among the Western Front, a static line of trenches running for hundreds of miles through France and Belgium. At some point along the front, combatants were separated by less than 100 feet. Their crude redoubts were little more than large ditches scooped out of miry, whitish-gray soil. Ill-equipped for winter, soldiers slogged through the brackish water that was too cold for human comfort, but too warm to freeze. The unclaimed territory, designated no man's land, was littered with the awful residue of war, expended ammunition, and the lifeless bodies of those whom the ammunition had been spent, on whom it had been spent. The mortal remains of many slain soldiers could be found grotesquely woven into the barbed wire fences. Villages and homes lay in ruins. Abandoned churches had been appropriated for use as military bases. As losses mounted and the stalemate hardened, war fever began to dissipate on both sides. Many of those pressed into service on the Western Front had not succumbed to the initial frenzy of bloodlust. Fighting alongside French, Belgian, and English troops were Hindus and Sikhs from India, as well as Gurkhas from the Himalayan kingdom of Nepal. These colonial conscripts had been transported from their native soil and deployed in trenches carved out of the wintry Belgian cabbage patches. Highland Scots were also found at the front, proudly wearing their kilts in the defiance of the bitter December cold. The German troops were led by elite Prussian officers, representatives of the bellicose Junker aristocracy. The German rank and file included Bavarian, Saxon, Westphalian, Hessian reservists, more than a few of whom had lived or have even been born in England and spoke perfect English. Bismarck's efforts to unite the scattered German principalities notwithstanding, many German troops remained more attached to their local communities and to what for them was an abstract German nation. Wallowing in what amounted to cold, fetid sewers, pelted by freezing rain, and surrounded by the decaying remains of their comrades, soldiers on both sides grimly maintained their military discipline. On December the 7th, 1914, Pope Benedict called for a Christmas ceasefire. This suggestion earned little enthusiasm from political and military leaders on both sides, but the story was different for the exhausted frontline troops. A December 4th dispatch from the commander of the British Second Corps took disapproving notice of a live and let live theory of life that had descended on the front. Although little overt fraternization was seen between hostile forces, just as little initiative was shown in pressing potential advantages. Neither side fired at the other during meal times, and friendly comments were frequently bandied about across no man's land. In a letter published by the Edinburgh Scotsman, Andrew Todd of the Royal Engineers reported that soldiers along his stretch of the front, quote, only 60 yards apart at one place, had become very pally with each other. Rather than flinging lead at their opponents, the troops would occasionally hurl newspapers weighted with stones and ration tins across the lines. Barrages of insults sometimes erupted as well, but they were delivered generally with less venom than a couple of London cabbies after a mild collision. As December waxed and the combat ardor of the frontline troops waned, with Christmas approaching, the scattered and infrequent gestures of goodwill across enemy lines increased. About a week before Christmas, German troops slipped a splendid chocolate cake across the lines to their British counterparts. Attached to that delectable peace offering was a remarkable invitation. We propose having a concert tonight, as it is our captain's birthday, and we cordially invite you to attend, provided you will give us your word of honor as guests that you agree to cease hostilities between 7:30 and 8:30. When you see us light the candles and footlights at the edge of our trench at 7:30 sharp, you can safely put your heads above your trenches, and we shall do the same, and begin the concert. The concert proceeded on time, with the bewhiskered German troops singing like Christy minstrels, according to one eyewitness account. Each song earned enthusiastic applause from the British troops, prompting a German to invite the Tommies to come mit us into the chorus. One British soldier boldly shouted, "We'd rather die than sing German." This jibe was parried instantly with a good-natured reply from the German ranks, "It would kill us if you did." The concert ended with an earnest rendition of Die Wacht am Rhein, which I don't know how to say, I don't speak German, and was closed with a few shots deliberately aimed at the darkening skies, a signal that the brief pre-Christmas respite was ended. Elsewhere along the front, arrangements were worked out to retrieve fallen soldiers and give them proper treatment or burial. In a letter to his mother, Lieutenant Geoffrey Heineke of the 2nd Queen's Westminster Rifles described one such event. It took place on December the 19th. Some Germans came out and held up their hands and began to take in some of their wounded, and so we ourselves immediately got out of our trenches and began bringing in our wounded also, he recalled. The Germans then beckoned us, and a lot of us went over and talked to them, and they helped us to bury our dead. This lasted the whole morning, and I talked to several of them, and I must say they seemed extraordinarily fine men. It seemed too ironical for words. There, the night before, we had been having a terrific battle, and the morning after, there we were, smoking their cigarettes and they smoking ours. Soon, talk along the front turned to the prospect of a formal cessation of hostilities in honor of Christmas. Again, this idea met resistance from above. This is from the historian Stanley Weintraub. Quote, "Most higher-ups had looked the other way when scattered fraternization occurred earlier. A Christmas truce, however, was another matter. Any slackening in the action during Christmas week might undermine whatever sacrificial spirit there was among troops who lacked ideological fervor. Despite the efforts of propagandists, German reservists evidenced little hate. Urged to despise the Germans, the British saw no compelling interest in retrieving French and Belgian crossroads and cabbage patches. Rather, both sides fought as soldiers fought in most wars, for survival, and to protect the men who had become extended family. In a sense, the war itself was being waged within an extended family, since both Germany's Kaiser Wilhelm II and England's King George V were grandsons of Queen Victoria. Both, more importantly, the warring nations were all part of what had once been known as Christendom. The irony of this fact was not lost on those sentenced to spend Christmas at the front. By Christmas Eve, the German side of the front was radiant with glowing Tannenbaum, small Christmas trees set up sometimes under fire by troops determined to commemorate the holy day. For most British soldiers, the German insistence on celebrating Christmas was a shock after the propaganda about Teutonic bestiality, while the Germans had long dismissed the British as well as the French as soulless and materialistic and incapable of appreciating the festival in the proper spirit. Regarded by the French and British as pagans, even savages, the pragmatic Germans were not expected to risk their lives on behalf of each beloved Tannenbaum. Yet when a few were felled by Scrooge-like gunfire, the Saxons opposite the British lines stubbornly climbed the parapets to set the endangered trees up once more. The radiant Christmas trees reminded some Indian conscripts of the lanterns used to celebrate the Hindu Festival of Lights. Some of them must have been puzzled over finding themselves freezing, undernourished, and confronting a lonely death thousands of miles from their homes as soldiers in a war which pitted Christian nations against each other. "Do not think this is war," wrote one Punjabi soldier in a letter to a relative. "Do not think that this is war. This is not war. It is the ending of the world." I'm going to stop there. We're going to hit a break. Come back and finish, well, the rest of the story.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This is Randy and Tammy Burkhalter at Prattville Farm Center.
Hey, Randy, you know we've got a lot of gift ideas for those hard-to-buy-for folks, especially with the new gift shop at Mama's Produce.
Well, Tammy, what about the chickens, dogs, horses, and cows?
We've got gift ideas for them, too.
But remember, the greatest gift is free, the gift of a Savior, Jesus Christ.
So from Eddie, Steve, Paige, Reese, Jacob, Jimmy, Moo Mammy, Tammy, and Randy,
Merry Christmas.
Start your day a better way with Action 8 News Rising. Get your first look at news happening today, plus your latest forecast and live traffic reports. Don't settle for the same old morning newscast. Watch Action 8 News Rising, weekday mornings starting at 4:30. Don't know an iPhone from a flip phone? You need to watch Action 8 News. Consumer technology reporter Jamie Tucker keeps you on top of the latest technology and keeps you safe from scams and identity thieves. Watch What the Tech, only on Action 8 News.
Michael Fabiano here, and if you want even more excitement on game day, it's time to get on Prize Picks, the best way to win big on fantasy sports. Here's how it works. Just pick 2 to 6 players and choose more or less on their stats. If you get them right, you can win up to 25 times your cash. It's quick and easy to make your picks, and with fast and safe deposits and withdrawals, Prize Picks is the place to play this season. Prize Picks has awesome weekly promotions, and they're the only daily fantasy platform with an injury insurance policy, keeping you in the game even if one of your players goes down. Watch your entry update in real time and continue the fun by making picks on second half and fourth quarter stats. And right now, when you go to prizepicks.com/primetime and use code PRIMETIME, Prize Picks is matching your first deposit up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/primetime with code PRIMETIME for a 100% deposit match. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Earnest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Earnest, 334-279-7431. Earnest Financial, LLC.
Rich Thomas Weather. Well, hi, everybody. Our temperatures are going to start to turn around. Today's high right around 60. That's better and close to normal. Good bit of sunshine filtering through some high clouds. Mostly cloudy, not as cold tonight, low 37. Tomorrow's high in the lower 60s with partial sunshine on Friday. Saturday's high 68. That's nice. Mostly sunny. Then on Christmas Eve day, rain chances relatively small, 20% or less. Partial sunshine, high 67. For Santa on Sunday night, looks like showers are likely, and then rain and thunderstorms on Christmas Day with a high in the mid-60s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
John Bobo with Capital Tractor. Looking for a tractor, excavator, mower, ag implements, or other equipment? Capital Tractor is as close as your smartphone or computer. Find the best deals, financing information, and browse new and used inventory with just a click at capitaltractor.com.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Now, where we left off, before we get back into it, though, Eddie, you said that you knew this story from what? How did you first hear about the Christmas tree story?
I think I heard about it originally probably in a history class of some sort. But knowing the details that you were describing, I knew I'd seen this many times. And so while you were reading, I was looking it up. And sure enough, after doing some digging, it's Paul McCartney's Fights of Peace, that video. Very popular in the 80s, and that's pretty much what this video was about.
So, folks, where we left off was with the quote of one Punjabi soldier. This is, stuff that's a little known, that you had people from all over the British Empire. So I can't imagine being somebody who's foreign to all this, especially Christendom, being in the middle of it. And where this guy left off, he said, do not think that this is war. This is not war. It is the ending of the world. But there were souls on each side of that fratricidal conflict determined to preserve the decencies of Christendom, even amid the conflict. As Christmas dawned, German Saxon troops shouted greetings to the British unit across from it. A happy Christmas to you, Englishmen. That welcome greeting prompted a mocking, insulting reply from one of the Scottish troops, who was mildly irritated at being called an Englishman. The same to you, Fritz, but don't you overeat yourself with them sausages. And it's in the dialect.
Okay.
It's like, same to you, Fritz, but don't overeat yourself with them sausages. A sudden cold snap had left the battlefield frozen, which was actually a relief for troops wallowing in sodden mire. Along the front, troops extracted themselves from their trenches and dugouts and approaching each other warily and then eagerly across no man's land. Greetings and handshakes were exchanged, as were gifts scavenged from care packages sent from home. German souvenirs that ordinarily would have been obtained only through bloodshed, such as a spiked Pickelhaube helmet or Gott mit uns belt buckles. Do you know what Gott mit uns means?
I don't, but I remember the pickle spiked helmet from the video.
I remember those, but apparently Gott mit uns means God on our side.
Oh.
It was on the German belt buckle.
Okay.
The uniform of every soldier. But these items were bartered for similar British trinkets. Carols were sung in German, English, and French. A few photographs were taken of British and German soldiers standing alongside each other, unarmed, in no man's land. Near Ypres, the Ypres salient, Germans and Scotsmen chased after wild hares that, once caught, served as an unexpected Christmas feast. Perhaps the sudden exertion of chasing wild hares prompted some of the soldiers to think of having a football match. Then again, little prompting would have been necessary to inspire young, competitive men, many of whom were English youth recruited off soccer fields, to stage a match. In any case, numerous accounts in letters and journals attest to the fact that on Christmas 1914, German and English soldiers played soccer on the frozen turf of no man's land. British Field Artillery Lieutenant John Wedderburn Maxwell described the event as, quote, probably the most extraordinary event of the whole war, a soldier's truce without any higher sanction by officers and generals. This isn't to say that the event met with unqualified approval. Random exchanges of gunfire along the front offered lethal reminders that the war was still underway. From his rearward position behind the lines, a gaunt, sallow soldier with a thick, dark mustache and hooded eyes witnessed a spontaneous eruption of Christian fellowship with hateful contempt. The German field messenger of Austrian birth heaped scorn on his comrades who were exchanging Christmas greetings with their British counterparts. Such a thing should not happen in wartime, growls Corporal Adolf Hitler. Have you no German sense of honor left at all? More than patriotic scruples were involved in Hitler's reaction, notes Weintraub, the historian leading us along our way. Although a baptized Catholic, Hitler rejected every vestige of religious observance, while his unit marked the day in the cellar of the Messians monastery. In a January 2nd, 1915 account of the Christmas truce, the London Daily Mirror reflected that the gospel of hate had lost its allure to soldiers who had come to know each other. The soldier's heart rarely has any hatred in it, commented the paper. He goes out to fight because that is his job. What came before, the causes of the war and the why and wherefore, bother him little. He fights for his country and against his country's enemies. Collectively, they are to be condemned and blown to pieces. Individually, he knows they're not bad sorts. Many British and German soldiers and line officers view each other as gentlemen and men of honor. The rank and file came to understand that the man on the other end of the rifle, rather than the soulless monster depicted in ideological propaganda, was frightened and desperate to survive and return to his family. For many along the front, these realities first became clear in the light cast by the German Tannenbaum, the little Christmas trees. In the shared symbol of the Christmas tree, an ornament of pagan origins appropriated by Christians centuries ago, British and German troops found a sudden and extraordinary link, observed British author Arthur Conan Doyle after the war, a conflict that claimed his son's life. It was an amazing spectacle, Doyle reflected, and must arouse bitter thought concerning the high-born conspirators against the peace of the world, whom in their mad ambition had hounded such men on to take each other by the throat rather than by the hand. In a remarkable letter published by the Times of London on January the 4th, a German soldier stated that, quote, as the wonderful scenes in the trenches during Christmas show, there's no malice on our side, and none in many of those who have been marshaled against us. But this was certainly not true of those who orchestrated the war, the high-born conspirators against the peace of the world. As British historian Neil Ferguson points out, the war makers' plans for the world required maximum slaughter at minimum expense. The informal truce held through Christmas, and at some points along the front, through the following day, known as Boxing Day to British troops. But before New Year's Day, the war had resumed in all its malignant fury, and the suicide of Christendom continued apace. Most wars are senseless exercises in mass murder and needless destruction. World War I, however, is remarkable not only for being more avoidable and less justifiable than most wars, but also for its role in opening the gates of hell. Mass starvation and economic ruin inflicted on Germany during the war and its aftermath cultivated the Nazi movement. Nearly identical ruin wrought in Russia thrust Lenin and the Bolsheviks to power. Benito Mussolini, a socialist agitator once regarded as Lenin's heir, rose to power in Italy. Radical variants of intolerant totalitarian nationalism ulcerated in Europe. The seeds of future wars and terrorism were deeply sown in the Middle East. What if the Christmas truce of 1914 had held? Might a negotiated peace have ensued, preserving Christendom for at least a while longer? We do not know. It is doubtful that the high-born conspirators against the peace of the world would have been long deterred in pursuing their demented plans. But the truce, a welcome development in the symphony of destruction, illustrated a timeless truth of the nature of the human soul as designed by its creator. Reflecting on the Christmas truce, Scottish historian Roland Watson writes, "The state bellows the orders, kill, maim, conquer. But a deeper instinct within the individual does not readily put a bullet through another who has done no great harm, but who rather says with them, 'What am I doing here?' For a tragically short time, the spirit of the Prince of Peace drowned out the murderous demands of the state." Again, that is from the pen of William Grigg. No longer with us. He passed away a few years ago, but the man's writing remains something I revisit from time to time. Unfortunately, I'd never seen this. his own writing about the Christmas truce. I had read about it before, but not in that way. And I just wanted to share a little bit here with the audience. Plenty of other crap to get to today. And by crap, I mean news. So we'll get into it. Yeah.
Crap.
But first, this part of the program brought to you by James Cole and Cole Plumbing. Merry Christmas, James.
Mm-hmm.
And they're at Cole Plumbing. They can help you with all of your plumbing needs, especially that emergency where you have a burst pipe.
Oh, yeah.
Inside or outside your home. They can get there. Cole Plumbing can get there on time. They know time is of the essence. And they can solve that problem without having to tear out a bunch of drywall inside your home or dig up a huge hole or trench in your yard.
Especially this time of year. You don't want that big mess.
But they can do it with precision and expertise due to this proprietary pipelining technology they have there at Cole Plumbing. They can also help you with everyday plumbing problems from a clogged drain to low water pressure, maybe even have tree root invasion or a gas line leak. It could be you just want to upgrade to a tankless water heater system, or you want to run a new water line or install a new toilet. And they can do all that for you there at Cole Plumbing. So y'all check them out today. You can always go to coleplumbing.com. It's coleplumbing.com, or give them a call at 279-8919. That's 279-8919. And just remember, folks, when you have trouble with your bowl,
call on Cole, Joey.
So what is in the news, Eddie?
Well, one of the things that caught my attention, well, something just broke a little bit earlier about Rudy declaring bankruptcy.
Rudy Giuliani? Oh, man.
That just broke. But what really got my attention yesterday and last night was the Epstein list. They announced it's going to come out January 2nd.
Yeah, the headline on the Bongino report is Merry Early Christmas. Jeffrey Epstein accuser taunts 170 Epstein associates about being publicly exposed. 3 names will remain redacted. I suspect a couple of those are actual victims.
Hope they're all victims.
No, there's one that's suspected to be like a bigwig.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. And the reason I'm so sure of this, what's wrong with today? Let it out today.
Right.
Instead, they're giving everybody 2 weeks to lawyer up or go run and hide, do whatever they got to do. And it also gives them 2 weeks to come up with a reason not to let the list out. So
well, we'll be seeing that in 2024.
That kind of got my attention. What's wrong with today?
Now, it's funny that, we haven't covered much of the President Gay story, the Harvard President Gay.
Oh, boy, they're coming. I told you they're coming, Joe.
And after, you just trying to take down a great scholar and all this stuff. No. Now, finally, the New York Times is blasting Harvard's Gay in detailed plagiarism review as scandal spirals out of her control.
Yeah, even Fox reported they're funding more and more of those.
Did you see the op-ed by Carol Swain, who was stolen from by President Gay?
No, I did not.
And Carol Swain's fantastic. Yeah, and she pretty much said, you lifted entire passages of my work. Yeah, and you didn't credit me.
What's so hard about giving a little credit?
It depends on the setting. Like, if we're sitting here having a radio conversation, I'm not going to cite every single thing I say. It's like,
no, but if you're writing your
but if I'm writing,
for
research,
Harvard or Yale or some other nerd university,
right?
You go, hey, I know you guys are pretty, this is one of those things you're anal about, so I'm going to put down.
Well, because a lot of the prestige in that industry is built off a number of citations on your work and these sorts of things. So that's going on. Trump's legal team has now responded to Jack Smith with a new filing to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
Saying that, y'all make a ruling and we'll see.
Let's get this thing rolling.
But separately, former Attorney General Ed Meese, he's filing a brief with the Supreme Court today arguing Jack Smith's entire appointment by DOJ is unconstitutional. This Ed Meese filing would invalidate all DOJ indictments against Trump. That seemed like a Hail Mary. That seems like a long shot to me, but good on Ed Meese.
Right.
Jonathan Turley's arguing today, we can bring this to you a little later, that the Supreme Court should rule unanimously against the Trump ballot ban coming out of Colorado. Though after this ruling by the Colorado Supreme Court, California is now beginning efforts to remove Trump from their 2024 ballot. But it's also causing a movement on the right. People calling for all Republican attorneys general to remove Joe Biden from the 2024 ballot. That would be 32 states.
At this point, you kind of get silly.
Now, very quietly in the middle of the night, the Washington Post, the paper that says democracy dies in darkness.
Did they die last night?
Well, they removed a particular header off the top of their homepage.
Oh?
War in Ukraine.
What is it no longer going on?
I guess
not
not.
Talking about it anymore?
Right.
Interesting. Hey, I'm starting to play with that Twitter X thing.
Yeah.
I'm on there. So I assume this is a real account because it's AOC's account. I mean, it's got her picture and everything and the blue check mark. And what I read, and I'm going to read it to you, it says, sometimes the only way to save democracy is to use judges to keep your opponent off the ballot. So, I mean, that's her words. Her pick. And then the blue check mean you're official and all that?
You got to love the geniuses that are running things here.
Just got some confusion over that one, Joey.
Oh, and by the way, in Alabama, one group was shadow banned by the Book of Faces, and I suspect of being shadow banned.
Yeah, they're admitting to one?
No, and by the way, I think that personally because the first few videos we put out had hundreds of people seeing them.
Yeah.
You know, within our audience here.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's like you got to go searching for it.
Yep.
So clearly screw you, Facebook.
Oh, Joey.
It's the one place I have a following over years, and now you screw me over.
Have you thought about
because you don't like my ideas?
Bit? Maybe if you brown nose them a little bit, you can work your way back up the chain.
Like Mark Zuckerberg can kiss my. But Troy University economist saying they're Alan Mendenhall, been on the show a few times. He says that there's a Tennessee lawsuit ongoing that it's against BlackRock.
Okay.
It may bring to light plans and practices that BlackRock and others have hidden in the dark for too long, sort of unveiling exactly how ESG has been implemented, how it's working.
I see.
And, of course, there's all sorts of stuff going on all over the world. Did you know that all the gifts in 12 Days of Christmas are all about birds?
Nah, I never know that. The only
all
one I know
birds.
about is the guys from Canada's 12 Beers of Christmas, that song.
Of course.
Dave and...
Aren't you a
McKenzie
sophisticated
brothers.
fella?
Yeah. Coo, 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 coo.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. And there at the Goodson Group, Bo and his team are ready to help you, whether you're looking to buy or sell a home here in the River Region real estate market. But it doesn't have to just be buying or selling. They also have great management services there at the Goodson Group. Should you want to rent out your home, great idea in this market, a rental investment, but it could definitely be a pain in the butt to actually be a landlord yourself. Why not, for a reasonable fee, have the Goodson Group take over that responsibility for you? And then the crown jewel there at the Goodson Group is the Bo Goodson Real Estate School. That's where Bo's 40-plus years of experience here in the River Region really shines. It's one of the most highly acclaimed because of, well, the proof of all these folks that have graduated from the Bo Goodson Real Estate School and gone on to great success, whether it's fully licensed realtors or it's just more knowledgeable private players. So check out the Goodson Group today. You can always go to thegoodsongroup.com or give them a call at 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group, great sponsor here of News and Views in the afternoon. More news and views after this quick break. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Is your cell phone or iPad cracked, broken, or not working right? Don't let the big carrier stores sucker you into a new $1,100 device. Let XI Repair fix your device today. XI Repair fixes cell phones, computers, laptops, iPads, game consoles, drones, and more. Their certified technicians fix hundreds of devices every day. When your device needs care, call XI Repair, 334-777-1234, or Google XI Repair.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon, and we have some exciting news to share with you. We've been serving the state of Alabama for many, many years, and now we are able and ready to offer the same great mortgage financing in Georgia and Florida as well.
Our company may be Alabama Home Mortgage, but now we can finance your Georgia home mortgage and your Florida home mortgage too. We couldn't be more excited to extend our customer base to our neighboring states. For years, we have had customers call us in hopes we could assist them with purchasing their vacation cabin in North Georgia or their dream home in Florida. Florida. And now we can. For those of you who have family and friends that live in Florida and Georgia, be sure to tell them the good news.
Whether you are looking to purchase or refinance a home located in Alabama, Georgia, or Florida, you owe it to yourself to give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time.
It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-368, Equal Housing Lender.
This holiday season is about more. Not more presents and shopping. More you. That's why at Montgomery Men's Health, we're celebrating the season of connection. Connecting with your family, with true friendships, and with yourself. We're treating erectile dysfunction with the least invasive, most advanced treatment options. We've been the local support team helping men get that spark back. In the bedroom, on the job, at the gym, and everywhere life takes you. To celebrate this season of connection, we're giving away free B12 at our Montgomery Clinic with every office visit for those who medically qualify. Our commitment is to take care of men, because men who feel alive will change the world. Don't wait to experience the difference our team at Montgomery Men's Health can make. Do it for your career. Do it for your family. Do it for your love life. Do it for you. Because the most meaningful present you can give is a man who is fully present. To give the gift of you this year, call now, 334-440-3663, or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to set up a consultation and lab panel today.
At Guardian Credit Union, we believe that banking should be personal, just like the relationships we build with members. Imagine a place where you're not just a credit score, but a valued part of our community. At Guardian, our dedicated team takes the time to listen, understand, and tailor financial solutions that fit your unique needs. From buying a car to saving for college and even starting a small business, we've got you covered. Come experience the Guardian difference and let's achieve your financial goals together. Guardian Credit Union, where you belong. Federally insured by NCUA.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. There's Eddie Bader answering the phones, or I should say, manning the phones. What a man. What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man.
What you doing over here?
I'm just talking about how you're manning those phones.
Kind of making me feel uncomfortable.
Well, then contact HR. Let's go to Soldier Boy. Hey, Soldier Boy, how you doing? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you too, both of you.
Thank you, Soldier Boy.
Hey, is he manning the phones like a biological man?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's very biological.
Okay, so I had to be specific.
Although as you get older,
get
man boobs. Just gotta put it out there.
Well, no, and Eddie could. I think you could pull up being an Amazon.
I thought that was dad bod.
I thought that was sexy for a while too, like mid '90s. I had the dad bod going on, and then it kind of went away. Yeah. Then
Hey, I see the governor of Texas wants to take Joe Biden off the election in the primary.
Yes.
I saw he also gave a ride to 150 illegal aliens to Chicago via the aerial
good.
plane. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're now blocking the buses. Oh no, the whole
How do you
taking
block
people.
the bus?
You put stuff in front of it,
Yes, but I mean,
or go get some German climate activists. We are destroying the planet. I am not moving.
we just call those speed bumps where I'm from.
Hey,
Famous words of Alvin Holmes.
It's not very
What about
Christmas-like.
Germany?
Yeah, Germany.
Germany, they make good beer.
Yeah, but this whole trend of taking folks off the ballot before anybody's convicted of anything, not a good look. It's going to get messy.
Right.
No, it's gonna. Here's the funny thing about it is, okay, is he exactly the mirror image of Putin? You get rid of your political enemies, so they don't get the. So every time when Putin runs for office, he wins.
Yeah, but Putin kind of poisons people.
Yeah, he poisons people. In fact, he just did so recently again.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So Joe's not there yet, but
I don't think he's going to make it to the Democratic National Convention.
I agree.
I don't think. And I bet there's a betting line on that in Vegas somewhere. There's a line.
I'm sure
Somebody's doing big
there
bet.
is. Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Well, and Soldier Boy, we got a bunch of other folks behind you, so got any parting shots?
Any parting shots?
Mm-hmm.
Nope. That's it.
Well,
peace out.
Like I said, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Later, Soldier Boy.
Man. Let's go to Dave. Hey, Dave.
What up, Dave?
Hey, guys. Thank you for your show. I appreciate it. I just wanted to say I really appreciated the piece you did and the things you read about the Christmas truce. It's very heartwarming. Years ago, probably in the 90s, I was an English teacher overseas in Europe and Hungary, and that was one of the topics for discussion among the English class I was teaching. And so that was probably my first exposure to it, and I hadn't remembered many of the details at all, and what you shared went far beyond. But it's an amazing story and one that should be heard. Thank you for sharing that.
Well, thank you for saying thank you. And, it just hit me this morning when I started reading. I'm like, I have to do this on air. So, I appreciate it, Dave.
Well, can I say a couple more things?
Yes, sure.
Well, that's another thing I appreciate, Joey, is you're always reading widely and bringing those thoughts and ideas into your show. And I wish I did more, but I appreciate what you do and how not just in preparation now, but I guess over the years, your grasp of history and politics means a lot for those of us who are a little less educated. So thank you for that. And I wanted to say I appreciate your voice impressions of many personalities and just a moment ago about the German officer Germans. You do a good job at those impersonations. I'm waiting for you to do one of Eddie, and maybe you've done those when he's not there. I don't know.
Whenever I do an Eddie, it just turns into Lurch from Addams Family. So
I'm glad that's why I remind you. Well, I mean, I guess the height difference, yeah.
And once in a while, you guys are joking about Eddie's girth or his weight or his diet or something. I haven't gone yet online to see any of your online stuff. So I've seen you a couple of times look you up, Joey, but I need to look up Eddie.
You'll probably be disappointed.
Nah, you're a good fella.
I appreciate both of you. You guys are a good team. You do a great job. Christmas blessings to you. Christmas for me is that Jesus Christ has changed my life. I was a drug user and a thief before I gave my life to Christ, and so that's part of my Christmas story. God bless you guys. Merry Christmas to you both.
God bless. Merry Christmas, Dave. Thank you for the call. 272-9228. Do we have time? Yeah, we got time for Red Top. Hey, Red Top, how you doing?
Hey, guys. On NTD News the other night, they were showing these big advertisement trucks. You've seen these big trucks that have nothing but like a billboard on them, haven't you?
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
Yeah, just a real skinny billboard is the whole length of the truck.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so they have these things down in Texas. There's 3 of them that's going around, and there's 3 of them going around on the Mexico side. One, it says sanctuary, and then this is as big as a damn highway billboard, and then underneath it, it'll say San Francisco. They have 3 versions of this. One says San Francisco, one says Chicago, the next one says New York. They're driving parallel to the border on all these roads on both sides of the border, advertising where the sanctuary cities are. And, of course, there ain't nobody stopping them. I guess it's a free country. You can do that all you want.
Right.
But it is so blatant. You want to pull it up.
And it looks like a lot of these folks from reporting today and like seeing the live shots, a lot of these folks from all over the world. It ain't just
all over
Central
the world.
and South America or Mexico.
Chinese.
A lot of folks from Africa.
Uganda. I mean, you just...
they know where they're going. This is a very well-planned global trip they're taking to get into America.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes. They interviewed in Panama a Chinese couple, very wealthy, paid $92,000 for the trip. Yeah. They're staying in a luxury hotel, and they're going to get them a ride to the border, and they're going to walk right across.
Yep.
So these ain't a bunch of peasants. They're Chinese, and, he just said he was ready to get out. But, it's almost all males in their 20s or late teens, 20s that they're going through. Yeah, fighting age. Yes, sir.
Well, I appreciate it, Red Top. I got to hit.
Thank you. Roll Tide, go Trump, folks.
See you, Red Top.
This part of the program brought to you by Dylan Rings and Josh and Leslie Ryder. You got to get by there today, folks.
Yes.
I mean, you can go tomorrow, too, but don't wait. Go by there today. 119 Brown Springs Road, right here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And I'm looking at the Dylan Rings Facebook page.
Yeah. You see what they put out there this morning?
It's pretty amazing. What do they call it? Their artisan craft bespoke jewelry.
Bespoke? Listen to you.
Bespoke.
All right.
When something is like tailored to fit you just right, whether it be pants or like say a ring or a necklace, or, maybe a bracelet.
Gotcha.
Could be a pendant of some sort. Maybe even a brooch.
Ooh, nice brooch.
Mm. They can do that for you there at Dylan Rings. Josh Ryder is a true artist. And when you go to this Facebook page or their Instagram page, you can see all these amazing jewelry items. They have dazzling statement pieces to delicate treasures. So you could be putting out a message like, look at me, or it could be just something that's subtle and poignant, meaningful to you. So unwrap the magic of a personalized, artistic piece of jewelry this Christmas. Get by Dylan Rings today. And actually a good idea, folks.
Yeah.
Say you're a fella.
I'm a fella.
And you're married. Or you got a girlfriend. And you go and talk to Josh.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, hey, man, I kind of know what she wants, but I don't know exactly. So can I give her, do you have something I could give her for Christmas on the day that we can then say, hey, we'll come back and get it customized exactly how she wants in the new year? I think it's a good idea.
I like where your mind's going there, kid.
So again, y'all check out Dylan Rings today. Yeah, I'm not even committed to anything.
No, that's...
You better watch out when I do.
Watching Hallmark.
You better watch out. Or Romance in Hawaii. Crap show of a movie. Anyway, Dylan Rings. You can always go to DylanRings.com, Facebook page, or Instagram page. Yep. I really encourage you to stop by their showroom, 119 Brown Springs Road, and be sure to say Merry Christmas to Josh and Leslie Ryder, and tell them you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. We'll come back to GW as well as others at 272-9228.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Reaction continues to pour into this week's decision by the Colorado State Supreme Court to ban former President Trump from the primary and general election ballot in that state. Colorado Republican Party Chairman Dave Williams is among those who say it's a bad decision based entirely on politics. The court based its ruling on the former president's alleged role in the January 6, 2021 riot at the U.S. Capitol in an effort to delay certification of the 2020 election amid concerns about a number of voting irregularities. The number of Americans who applied for unemployment benefits rose slightly last week. The Labor Department reports jobless claims were up by 2,000 to 205,000, for the week that ended on December 16th. And on Wall Street, the Dow and the other major indexes doing well. Right now, it's Dow up 138 points. This is SRN News.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, an evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word faith to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word faith to 989898 and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where dump truck drivers are in demand. Wiley Sanders is on the grow. We need dump truck drivers now. Call 855-77-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our temperatures are going to start to turn around. Today's high right around 60. That's better and close to normal. Good bit of sunshine filtering through some high clouds. Mostly cloudy, not as cold tonight, low 37. Tomorrow's high in the lower 60s with partial sunshine on Friday. Saturday's high 68. That's nice. Mostly sunny. Then on Christmas Eve day, rain chances relatively small, 20% or less. Partial sunshine, high 67. For Santa on Sunday night, looks like showers are likely, and then rain and thunderstorms on Christmas Day with a high in the mid-60s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories.
The Montgomery City Council upheld Mayor Stephen Reed's veto against the ordinance that stopped the change of insurance providers for Medicare-eligible retirees Tuesday night. The AmWins contract will take effect January 1st, making United American the supplementary health insurance for retirees. A new scam called pig butchering has been popping up in Alabama. Scammers build relationships with their victims through social media to fatten them up. The victim is then directed to a website that appears to be a trading platform, only to be left with a big financial loss. Never send money to a stranger or give out financial information. Many individuals are dealing with grief and depression during the holidays, but there is hope. If you or someone you know is experiencing these feelings or is in a suicidal crisis, help is available at your fingertips by calling or texting 988, the Mental Health Crisis Hotline. All you need to do is call or text 988, available 24/7. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Craving a taste of the holidays that's as sweet as it gets? Look no further than Sweet Creek Farm Market, your ultimate destination for one of the area's largest selection of locally grown pecans, irresistible pecan products, and delicious homemade treats. Roasted and salted, honey roasted, classic pralines, chocolate honey baked, or creamy white chocolate pecans. Don't miss the double chocolate bourbon pecan pies. Your family will love the homemade pies, cakes, and candies in more flavors and varieties than you've ever seen. Stop in the cafe and try Sweet Creek's award-winning barbecue or show-stopping peach cobbler with ice cream. After you eat, shop their charming selection of gifts, including many Alabama-made products. Unique gifts and sweet treats will be a hit with your loved ones. Whether you're looking for a hostess gift or a stocking stuffer, Sweet Creek Farms has what you need. Like them on Facebook or stop by their location 2 miles south of Taylor Road on Highway 231. Merry Christmas from Sweet Creek Farm Market.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Looking forward to Christmas. We're in the Christmas spirit here at Blue Water Broadcasting. After the party last night.
Good time, man. Good time.
It was a good time. And there were actually some dirty gifts during Dirty
Yes, there
Santa.
was. I'm glad I did not receive any this time because I've been on the receiving end a few times. It's a little embarrassing.
Oh,
funny.
Don't
funny
you know
as
it?
it can be, but oof, God.
Now, quick little piece of history here.
Yeah.
This will only take a minute, if not less. But Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, this is what they used to take Trump off the ballot in Colorado.
Okay.
Section 3 of the 14th Amendment was invoked only once in the 20th century against a fellow named Victor L. Berger. The Austrian...
Old Berger? Old Berger? What year was that, by the way?
Let me finish that.
All right. I'm just really irritated about
Victor L. Berger, the Austrian Jewish immigrant who was the first person to get elected to U.S. Congress as a socialist from Wisconsin. He was a very strong opponent of the Great War, World War I, which landed him in very hot water. Returning to Congress, he was not seated based on his incredibly stupid invocation of Section 3. Based on this incredibly stupid invocation of Section 3, because he had been indicated under the Espionage Act for writing against the war. So because he spoke out against World War I, he was indicted under the Espionage Act. Once the panic died down and the courts reversed his conviction, he returned to serve 3 terms, in Congress. Do you see where this is going? It's not just about Trump. It's about political persecution of all dissent. And it's actually something Trump's been saying, they're not after me, they're after you, and I'm just in their way.
Well, they'll do it to him. No big deal. They'll do it to everyone, apparently.
Let's go to GW. Hey, GW.
Hey, how you doing? Maybe some of the other listeners don't remember what I said. I know Eddie knows about it, and I've mentioned this before on your radio, but going along with this, what Colorado or the other states are trying to do, removing Trump from the ballot, hopefully it'll have the same effect it did in Alabama when the Democratic Party, when they had the primary between Bill Baxley and Charles Graddick, and Graddick beat Baxley, and they said, no, we're going to put Baxley in.
Mm-hmm.
And because Graddick is not our man or our puppet, I guess you might say, and that ushered in the downfall of the Democratic Party in Alabama for a state, as far as a statewide power goes. They elected Guy Hunt
right
as the Republican governor, who was an Amway salesman. Of course, and he got booted out of office because of some criminal activities he did while in office. So I don't know if it could have the same effect on a national level to bring about the downfall of the Democratic Party as far as the power goes in national elections. Of course, states like New York, Washington, Oregon, and California would remain probably fairly firmly under the Democratic control, but as far as national elections, it might just mean the death of them. I hope that would be it, because one thing people will not stand for is, or they don't like, is somebody telling them what you can and cannot do.
Yep.
If they, by removing Trump from the ballot, they're going to make people vote for him, which is great, in my opinion.
So what if they write him in? I mean, if they remove him from the ballot, but a majority of people write him in, how does that work? Does anyone?
I think that because of the publicity, he could possibly garner enough votes to make a difference. However, look, people are lazy.
Who you tell?
And they say check the box. They're just going to look for a name to check. I mean, how many people really try to educate themselves on the election and the candidates they're running?
Not enough.
But I mean, there might actually be some people too lazy to write in a name or say, well, if he's not on there, then I can't vote for him. They don't know. But again, I think that order in Colorado is stayed.
Yes.
Pending an appeal. So if it's, I mean, his name I would assume his name would appear on the ballot since the order is stayed.
Right.
Unless it goes up all the way to the appeal process and they say, we uphold your ruling, which I don't think they would. But I would hope that it would really have the reverse. I can't believe the Democratic Party is that ignorant to think that this is helping their cause. I imagine they believe they can't win an election fairly, and so they're trying to think of ways to usurp an election that would be otherwise in favor of the Republicans. That's I just believe that. I don't have any proof of that, obviously. But that's the only thing I can see why they would even be doing this.
Yeah.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
I think they are worried that if Trump gets another bite at the apple in a fair and square way,
he's coming.
He's going to win. Especially because it just what they did propping Biden up, it's gotten old really quick. Even people that hate Trump, hate Republicans or conservative, whatever, they don't love Biden. Excuse me, pardon me. It's bad right now for the Democrats. So my expectation is they're trying this lawfare with Trump, and I still don't think Biden will be the guy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking after Super Tuesday, something will happen to old Sloppy Joe, and the DNC will get to handpick who they want, kind of like you were referring to with the Democrats here in Alabama all those years ago. Mm-hmm. And we'll see how the people react to that.
I just think on a national level, this parallels what Alabama did with Baxley and Graddick. It just it's really, really similar.
Well, I appreciate the call, GW.
All right, take care.
Y'all have a good one.
Let's go to Papa B.
Papa B. Papa B. Y'all going to have to start paying me for my endorsements of y'all's advertisers.
Well, who you got this time?
Instead, why don't you just give me a cut of when you go there? I can just get a cut of what they get.
Yeah, why not?
You don't talk about it publicly. You're too stupid to do graft.
Nah.
I'm doing some.
How are we ever going to make it in politics?
y'all started
No.
talking about man boobs, noobs.
Yeah.
So, I feel compelled to tell y'all that since I've been going to Montgomery Men's Health, my moobs are shrinking.
Oh, that's
All
good
right.
news.
They really are. And not only that, I expect in about a month or two, I might be moobless altogether.
All right, you going to walk down the beach without a shirt on there, Papa?
I might, yeah. Tell
All
you,
right.
I might be ready for a beach body, type thing. No kidding, it's great. But anyway, and by the way, since we're talking about moves, and, Joey mentioned, Partridge in a Pear Tree song, 12 Days of Christmas. What does 8 Maids of Milking have to do with the bird, Joey?
Well, I'm
You
gonna have
said
to
it was
pull
all
up.
about birds.
That's what the story claims, and so we could get to 8 Maids of Milking. Once I got, let me pull up the story here. Like, hold your horses.
No.
I mean,
Y'all do it on your own time. I'm just curious. Look, but on this whole ballot, getting Trump off the ballot and stuff, it looks to me like a lunchroom food fight kind of thing, more than anything official. I mean, anything that's going to actually stick. Finally,
okay, I'm looking at it now. The first day of Christmas, 1 partridge in a pear tree, 2 turtle doves, 3 French hens. So far, pretty explanatory. 4 calling birds. Golden rings are pheasants, apparently.
I thought I ring next.
And 6 geese a laying, 7 swans a swimming. 8 maids a milking are magpies or cattle egret.
Oh, my heavens.
I had no idea.
Who would know that?
9 ladies
cowbird.
dancing are lapwings. 10 lords a leaping are cuckoos, which, given a lot of people's internet history,
Yeah.
cuckoo. 11 pipers piping are sandpipers, and 12 drummers drumming are ruffled grouse.
Well, that's how they attract a mate.
Oh, yeah. And Mitch McConnell, too.
Yeah, that's very true.
Come here, Elaine.
Yeah, where's the turkey? In that song anyway. One turkey neck to swinging. I don't know. So this, ballot thing, finally, it looks like the Supreme Court is going to go ahead and try to step in on not only, the prosecutions, but probably also the ballot thing too. The only one that really worries me, Eddie, is Kavanaugh. Because Kavanaugh, he just for the life of me, it reminds me of one of those Republicans that they just want so badly to be thought of as fair that they will go to any length possible, to do so. I don't know if he'll be able to do it on this one or anything with Trump, but I think he has that desire to do so. I think he has the desire to rule against Trump if possible. I don't think he's fair in that regard.
You think he's already biased to that? He's just a no Trump.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's some Republicans and other, let's just call it conservative figures, appointees. When they get appointed, they just they're dying to prove to the other side how fair they are, and they'll they'll find some way to rule against, somebody that they otherwise would have the same views of. Even if the ruling is just a bunch of, just a load of steaming pile stuff, they'll do it. So I don't know. I also think that Trump has been kind of looking for, this is just a theory I have, an official way to put into the record a lot of the maybe the stuff that he has on people, okay? The declassified materials. And a court type setting would be a perfect opportunity to do so. I mean, we'll see what happens, but like I said, it's a theory of mine. Who knows what will go on. Anyway, those are thoughts of the day. I appreciate y'all letting me call in.
Thank you, Papa B.
Thank you, Papa B.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I don't think I'm doing all right. I don't have quite the man boobs.
I didn't either when I was your age.
You got them now?
As you get older, they start to got more than I did. I'm no meatloaf, I can tell you that.
Well, that's why you've been having trouble saying it with your chest.
I feel like there's weight on my chest. Carrying the world, the weight of the world on my chest, Joey.
That is one of my favorite things to yell. It's like these stupid politicians.
Yeah.
Oh, say it with your chest.
And do they? So, I've never heard you say that to Katie.
I haven't had reason to say that to Senator Brooke.
Okay. So just certain ones?
No, and I haven't had reason to say that to Tommy Tuberville. And I think I brought up C.S. Lewis's reference to new generation of men without chest.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, Joey, how much you bench? I'm like, hey, that's not what I meant.
Yeah. You're not going to impress the coach. Let me go ahead and tell you.
Yeah.
That guy's been in a weight room with a few.
No, I'm not claiming to be an NCAA top athlete, college football athlete.
Keep it into the politics. Don't let him start. Coach, I think will shame you very quickly on that.
Anyway, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. Yeah, you keep up your shaming.
Dude, let me tell you. I told you yesterday. They called me up, let me know they were coming. Then they gave me a after kind of report, let me know what they saw, what they didn't see, and the attention that I asked for, extra attention. They said, hey, we made sure we took care of that. This was all within 30 minutes. And I didn't have to be there. That was another part, Joy. It was at one of my rentals. My tenants weren't there. We always have permission to go in. So all I got was a phone call, and I got a whole day's work done out of one person with one phone call.
Wow.
And it's great because, again, it's an extra set of eyes for me. I don't always get to go by my rental property. So they go by there. If they see anything pest-related, they certainly let me know. If they see anything else that might need my attention, they let me know.
Well, and folks, here on the radio, our bread and butter are great, locally connected small businesses.
Yes, sir.
And that's exactly what Pest Pro Services, Pest Pro Services, that's what they do. They have grown leaps and bounds over the last 3 years. And it's because of, the great service they offer when it comes to pest control, but they're also just very good folks, salt of the earth, we'll say, preserving our community. So check out Pest Pro Services today. You can always go to the Book of Faces, just search Pest Pro Services there on Facebook, or you can also go to ppsriverregion.com, but I encourage you to call them up, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and that fantastic team that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the Afternoon sent you. Hey, is it a break?
Break?
More News and Views when we come back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group with the updated market report. Over the past 11 and a half months, over 4,100 homes have sold and closed in our MLS system with an average price of $245,000. Houses are selling at listed price throughout the river region, and over 35% are selling in the first 30 days on the market. Rising interest rates tend to keep some people from buying, but it didn't stop over 4,100 families from buying this year. There is a cost to waiting and expecting rates to fall, and that cost is appreciation, which has been rising nearly every month for the last 2 years. So the house that you delay buying this year could cost you $35,000 more next year, even if the rate falls. One alternative is to buy now, refinance when rates improve, and that way you are not paying more for the house that you really wanted. For the facts, call Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
The fall sale is on, and there's never been a better time to upgrade your floors. During Prattville Carpet's biggest sale of the year, find deep discounts on Mohawk flooring for every room in your home, plus interest-free financing with approved credit. Get new floors before the holidays with huge discounts. Visit PrattvilleCarpet.com or call 285-8117 today.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a famous broadcaster.
Hey man, what's happening?
Now, I understand you radio people move a lot, is that correct?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, how does this affect your taking care of your retirement money?
Oh man, I don't give that a second thought because my buddy David Ernest, he's my money man.
Your money man?
With the money plan.
I see.
So no matter where I go up and down the dial, David has my back, you know?
I'll bet you know some phone numbers our listeners could call to talk with David Ernest.
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
And he has a website at retirewithernest.com.
Hey, you're on top of it today, man.
I also understand that you hold some sort of a record in broadcasting.
Yes. I was the first person to put together a show with myself, a duck, a chicken, and a goose. But it didn't last long. We got taken off the air.
Why were you taken off the air?
Too much foul language, man.
Oh, my.
So I wasn't crazy about that one myself.
Hi, I'm Rebecca, owner of Smart Skin Med Spa and Salon. Are you looking for that perfect holiday gift? Get that special someone a gift certificate to use on the services they love. Smart Skin Med Spa and Salon, the only salon, med spa, and day spa located in the heart of downtown Prattville.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the house.
In the house.
272-9228 if you want to get in on the program. Now, as we mentioned earlier, as Eddie mans the phones at 272-9228, former Attorney General Ed Meese has also filed a brief with the Supreme Court. It's not just Jack Smith. It's not just Trump and his team. But here's the argument, that Jack Smith's special counsel appointment is unconstitutional. That's what Ed Meese is telling the United States Supreme Court. Their amicus brief, it's Ed Meese and two top constitutional scholars. They filed it yesterday. Mm-hmm. It argues, this brief, that Smith lacks authority to represent the United States by asking the Supreme Court to weigh in because the office he holds has not been created by Congress, and his appointment violates the Appointments Clause of the Constitution.
Yeah, but they don't pay attention to the Constitution, Joey.
That is true.
So, I'm not trying to be that funny guy, but let's be honest.
The filing essentially claims U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland improperly appointed Smith to an office that does not exist with authority Garland does not possess. Huh.
And he's getting paid, too.
They argue that only Congress can create federal offices such as Smith currently holds, which Congress has not done. While the Constitution creates the offices of President and Vice President, Congress has the sole authority to create additional offices because the Constitution says those offices must be established by law. Congress previously passed a law to authorize a similar position called an independent counsel, but that statute expired in 1999. Garland cannot hire a mere employee to perform tasks that Congress has not authorized, the attorneys write. Only an officer can hold such a significant level of authority. In creating the Department of Justice, Congress gave it certain powers by law. Yet it authorized no office with all the powers of a U.S. attorney that Garland has given to Jack Smith. They further argue, quote, Even if one somehow thinks that existing statutes authorize appointment of standalone special counsels with the full power of a U.S. attorney, Smith was not properly appointed to such an office. They assert even if special counsels were authorized by Congress, anyone in possession of such powers would require presidential nomination and Senate confirmation. Moreover, the brief argued that Smith has so much power, just like a U.S. attorney, he is a principal officer under the Constitution's appointment clause, which means he must first be nominated by the president and then confirmed by a majority of the U.S. Senate. Now, this could make all these indictments against Trump go away if they hear this interesting argument. Fascinating stuff. Let's go to Bob. Hey, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I want to recommend a book I think y'all would very much enjoy reading. It's on the bestseller list now. It's called The Great Disappearance by David Jeremiah. And like I say, I think it'd be very interesting reading if you get a chance to get it. Of course, it's on Amazon.
The Great Disappearance.
The Great Disappearance.
All right.
But anyway, Merry Christmas. See
Merry
y'all
Christmas.
later on.
Thank you, Bob. 272-9228. The Great Disappearance. You looking it up, Ed?
Uh-huh.
What are you seeing?
Disappeared. Great Disappearance 31 ways to be ready for the rapture. So.
Yeah, we should check that out.
I've got a great book I got to put in front of me. The one I got last night.
Oh, the Alex Jones book that just came out? Nice.
That's going to be good. I really, as good as the book's going to be, I really enjoy that our buddy Scott, I stole it from him in a little swap. And I really enjoy the gift that he got.
Now, here is Jonathan Turley and what he has to say about the Colorado Supreme Court removing Trump from the ballot there. In his book, Profiles of Courage, John F. Kennedy discussed figures who answered the call of history and how such defining moments are an opportunity that sooner or later is presented to us all. That moment will now be presented to 9 justices of the United States Supreme Court after a divided decision of the Colorado Supreme Court to disqualify Donald Trump in the 2024 election. The test for the U.S. Supreme Court is not just what they should do, but how they should do it. As an institution, the court is often called upon to seize such moments to bring unity and clarity to our core values. That is why this insidious opinion must not only be unequivocal, but unanimous. The Colorado decision to bar Trump from the ballot will be overturned because it is wrong on the history and the language of the 14th Amendment. Dead wrong. Turley goes on. The question is whether the U.S. Supreme Court will speak with one voice, including the 3 liberal justices. As with the 3 Democratic state justices who refused to sign off on the Colorado opinion, these federal justices can now bring a moment of unity, not just for the court, but the country in rejecting this shockingly anti-democratic theory. For years, the disqualification theory has been treated like some abstract parlor game for law professors. While Democrats called for the disqualification of 120 House members, it was treated as a fringe theory. It has now lost its charm as a legal brain teaser. As I have previously written, the disqualification of Trump is based on the use of a long-dormant provision in the Section 3 of the 14th Amendment. After the Civil War, House members were outraged to see Alexander Stephens, the Confederate vice president, seeking to take the oath with an array of other Confederate senators and military officers. They had all previously taken the same oath, then violated it to join a secession movement that claimed the lives of hundreds of thousands of Americans. That was a true rebellion. January 6, 2021 was a riot. And I might quibble, too, that secession's different than, trying to take over the government. That said, that does not excuse those who committed crimes that day, but it was not an insurrection. Jonathan Turley goes on. The majority on the Colorado Supreme Court adopted sweeping interpretations of every element of the decision to find that Trump not only incited an insurrection, but can be disqualified under this provision. It does not matter that Trump has never been charged with even incitement, or that he called for his supporters to go to the Capitol to protest peacefully. In finding that Trump led an actual insurrection, the 4 justices used speeches going back to 2016 to show an effort to rebel before Trump was ever president. There are ample grounds to summarily toss this opinion to the side. However, That would not answer the call of this historic moment. What these 4 justices did was a direct assault on our democratic process in seeking to bar the most popular candidate in the upcoming election. Whatever the view of Trump, this is a decision that should rest with the voters. Not only are these 4 justices seeking to bar the votes of millions of voters, even barring the counting of write-in votes, but they are doing so in the name of democracy. It is the ballot cleansing that is usually associated with authoritarian countries like Iran, where voters are protected from quote-unquote unworthy candidates. Justice Robert Jackson once observed that he and his colleagues are not final because we are infallible. We are infallible because we are final. A decision on Colorado could put this theory to rest by the sheer finality of the appeal. However, it is not the finality that is needed at this moment. We need clarity of purpose and principle. The Supreme Court plays a unique role in our system at times like these. It must at times defy us in rejecting racism as such. Cases of Brown versus Board of Education. At other times, it is protected in rejecting government overreach, as in cases such as Katz v. United States, demanding warrants to overcome the reasonable expectation of privacy. This is a time where it can unify us. The court holds the ultimate bully pulpit that can educate citizens on what defines us as a people. Most people understand intuitively that what these 4 justices did in Colorado was wrong. However, the court can speak as one, conservatives and liberals, in reaffirming the core values discarded by these state justices. In that sense, it may be the greatest test of Chief Justice John Roberts. Roberts once observed that, quote, the most successful Chief Justices help their colleagues speak with one voice. Past Chief Justices from John Marshall to Earl Warren struggled to secure unanimous votes on fundamental cases to reaffirm such defining values. The court could help unify this country in a way that may be unparalleled in its history. It can show that justices who hold vastly different ideological views can be unified on core principles. It can remind us that, as citizens, the Constitution is ultimately not a covenant with the government, but with each other. It is a leap of faith that, as a free people, we can decide our shared destiny and protect our shared identity. The moment has come for 9 justices to speak in one voice, an American voice that transcends the personalities and divisions of our time. It is a voice that speaks not to what divides us, but what defines us as a people. It's from the desk of Jonathan Turley. And we'll see what the Supreme Court does and how swiftly they do it, and if, in fact, it will be a unanimous decision. Now we'll get into another break here, but this part of the program first brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And you work with Kim and Madeline quite often.
Quite often, yep. Every chance I can. Great folks. They do the job. They do it right. They're one of the greatest things, if I have any veterans that are looking, I always send them to them because they are VA specialists.
Right. Oh, yeah, they did the extra education.
That's exactly right. And a lot of mortgage companies say they can do VA loans, and they can, but then when you get over there, you find out they know nothing about the process at all. Not the case with Madeline and all. She's taken a lot of my vets and just walked them through the how do I buy a house to all the way to closing. Just absolutely great people.
And you don't have all these surprises on closing day.
That's the worst thing I've ever experienced is
a
a surprise on closing day, and I've never experienced that with them. In fact, we usually get to closing sooner.
Yeah, they're faster, too, than the competitors. Yep. So y'all check out Alabama Home Mortgage today. You can always call them at 567-4223. That's 567-4223, or just apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Like Kim and Madeline. Prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender. More news and views in the afternoon. Well, after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Do you have a cell phone or tablet that isn't charging, dying fast, or maybe the screen is damaged? Don't get suckered into buying a new one. XI Repair can fix your current device same day and in under 30 minutes. Their certified technicians fix and recover data from thousands of cell phones, computers, tablets, game consoles, and drones 7 days a week. Give them a call today at 334-777-1234 or visit them online at xirepair.com.
Did you know that over 12 times a day, someone in Autauga County calls 911 to report a medical or fire emergency? Volunteer first responders are saving lives and property, and you can be part of their team.
Volunteering as a first responder is really about making a difference where it's needed most, and Autauga County needs you now more than ever. Are you ready to answer the call?
To begin your journey, you can find any of the agencies of the Autauga County Firefighters Association on Facebook or visit makemeafirefighter.org.
May I help you?
Well, howdy. I'm Bill the electrician. Come to wire up your new air compressors.
Oh, well, okay. Never seen an electrician pull up in a camo Jeep with deer antlers on the front.
Yeah, that 3 points of beauty, ain't it?
No matter what your electrician is driving, make sure it says Crosby Electric on the side. Crosby Electricians will take care of your electrical issues professionally and for a reasonable price.
Bill, you sure you know how to design these circuits?
Well, of course. And if I do get stuck, I got a secret weapon.
Oh, yeah?
YouTube.
Oh, boy.
Crosby Electric has been serving this area for over 50 years. We have the experience to do your job correctly.
Okay, let's try out these new air compressors.
Bill, you blew up my new compressors.
Yeah, sorry about that. Here, take my Jeep. It's yours.
What?
I'll just keep the horns, if that's okay.
Protect your property and yourself. Always call the experts at Crosby Electric or visit us at crosbyelectric.com.
This holiday season is about more. Not more presents and shopping. More you. That's why at Montgomery Men's Health we're celebrating the season of connection. Connecting with your family, with true friendships, and with yourself. We're treating erectile dysfunction with the least invasive, most advanced treatment options. We've been the local support team helping men get that spark back. In the bedroom, on the job, at the gym, and everywhere life takes you. To celebrate this season of connection, we're giving away free B12 at our Montgomery Clinic with every office visit for those who medically qualify. Our commitment is to take care of men, because men who feel alive will change the world. Don't wait to experience the difference our team at Montgomery Men's Health can make. Do it for your career. Do it for your family. Do it for your love life. Do it for you. Because the most meaningful present you can give is a man who is fully present. To give the gift of you this year, call now, 334-440-3663, or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to set up a consultation and lab panel today.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where dump truck drivers are in demand. Wiley Sanders is on the grow. We need dump truck drivers now. Call 855-77-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our temperatures are going to start to turn around. Today's high right around 60. That's better and close to normal. Good bit of sunshine filtering through some high clouds. Mostly cloudy, not as cold tonight, low 37. Tomorrow's high in the lower 60s with partial sunshine on Friday. Saturday's high 68. That's nice, mostly sunny. Then on Christmas Eve day, rain chances relatively small, 20% or less. Partial sunshine, high 67. For Santa on Sunday night, looks like showers are likely, and then rain and thunderstorms on Christmas Day with a high in the mid-60s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors & More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors & More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. And of course, we are now live streaming the show. We're going to continue to try to improve on this, especially as we enter into 2024. And Eric the dog, he is writing in, Eddie, that when Eddie turns to the side, it looks like Where's Waldo edition of News and Views.
I see.
That makes sense. Rip Rap earlier said, moobs and maids of milking, WTH? Pulse Media Montgomery. Joey and Eddie, wishing you both a very Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year. Signed, Triple J. Do you know Triple J?
Well, it's JJJ, right?
Yeah, I know what 3 J's is. Is that John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt?
Duh.
Oh, well, it's good to hear from you, John Jacob Jingleheimer.
Who did you think it was? Duh.
Yeah, if y'all want to comment like that, Joey Clark Live on YouTube. Like and subscribe. In a second, we're going to get to now Republicans float the idea of booting Biden off state ballots after the Trump ruling. So if we can just make things up, y'all can, we'll do it.
Okay.
Fire with fire. Unfortunately, if you fight fire with fire, you know who wins?
Fire.
The big fire lobby.
Yep.
Bastards. Let's go to east of the Rockies. Hey, East.
Hey, yeah, listen, I wish I could call and complain about something, but I just can't. I love your radio show because of the substance that's there consistently. Your writing is great. I'm looking forward. I'm gonna download your stuff from 1819 and send it to all my relatives for Christmas. But dig this. Nobody asked me what I wanted for Christmas. Go ahead and ask.
What do you want for Christmas, East?
I want Eddie Bader to fill in for Boudel again.
Well, Greg and I talked about that a little bit last night.
Yeah. It's not that I'm tired of Greg, it's that we just enjoy Eddie and I dig what he does on your show. I mean, he's the perfect balance, but not exactly Jane Curtin to your
I would love to reply to him like Dan Aykroyd replied to Jane Curtin.
Oh, wait. If anybody's ignorant slut, it's you, big boy.
Not anymore. I'm much older and more mature. When I was young, you had me.
All right.
Not so much.
Yeah, it's more like a news cougar. But look, but I did want to call and if I don't get to talk to you guys again before Christmas, then I love Napolitano's writing and
great.
I just have to say it, man. If you guys are up for a raise next year, you deserve it because there's substance on the radio, and I really dig it.
Well, that's nice
How
to
about
hear.
Merry Christmas?
Merry Christmas, East.
See you, buddy.
Later.
272-9228. Now, some Republicans, folks, some Republican officials outraged by the Colorado Supreme Court's decision to boot Trump off of the state's primary ballot have suggested doing the same to President Biden in their states. Trump, of course, was disqualified 4-3 Tuesday by the Colorado, Supreme Court.
More politics at the 6th grade recess. You do it, I do it. You're uglier than I am.
Many Republicans peddling the tit-for-tat idea suggested it as a thought experiment to give Democrats a taste of their own medicine.
You got them.
Rather than an actual serious legal undertaking. See what happened in Colorado makes me think, except we believe in democracy in Texas, maybe we should take Joe Biden off the ballot in Texas for allowing 8 million people to cross the border since he's been president, disrupting our state far more than anyone else has done in recent history. That's from Lieutenant Governor there of Texas,
Or you
Dan Patrick.
Try to impeach him on. I mean, there's several different things I think you could go after, and one of them, the fact is, he's a very ignorant old man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's just one. But so I get bothered by this because those are great, grandiose statements. But actions speak louder than words. And these Republicans right now, sorry guys, but they're as weak as a wet paper bag.
Well, DeSantis is saying there was no trial on any of this. Could we just say that Biden can't be on the ballot because he let in 8 million illegals into the country? I guess that talking point's going around.
I'm with you on that, but do something. You're just talking.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of reaction across the board, people wanting to do the tit-for-tat idea, but I hope the Supreme Court instead takes up Jonathan Turley's call to be historic, speak with one voice, and put some of this crap to rest.
But there's, something I don't understand, there's no deadline on that or nothing. We as Americans, we assume they're going to look at that. Is there, that's...
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I want to share something that's a little bit of a palate cleanser, not politics at all. It's more, it's a X-Platform Twitter account I follow called Historic Vids.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is about the electric house of the future from 1949, Eddie.
Okay.
Where you can push a button to get anything done. So do you want to watch this old school
Sure, but
advert?
Let's define anything.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of anythings. Like, if I want the vacuum cleaner run, that pushes a button. And what if, right. What if I own the lawn mode, that pushes the button?
Well, I don't know. But hey, what we should do
I want
is
a
watch.
massage, I push the button?
We should just watch the video.
All right.
Here we go.
Open a can, just push a button. And when it's open, the top doesn't fall in. A magnet holds onto it.
That's cool, because all the roach
Want
poop
water
don't
in
fall
the
on your
pot?
food.
What? Say that again?
That's cool, because all the roach poop don't fall on your food.
Let's keep going.
Just push a button. The water comes right to the stove.
She's got a hose and a sprayer.
Right, from the kitchen sink. Very modern right there.
When ashes drop in this housewife's heaven, yes, just push a button. Oscar, the radar vacuum, will clean up the mess.
Oscar, the radar vacuum.
I love that line. When ashes fall in this housewife heaven. What a different country. Look at that.
What is that?
I didn't know the Roomba was invented in the 40s,
It's
essentially.
like a Roomba with 4 levels of Roomba on it.
Yeah, let's keep going. Oscar is his name.
Yeah. Oscar's kind of noisy.
If just sitting around gets tiring, why, you go to bed. Oscar will put himself away. Want the beds moved? Just push a button. Now, if there was only a push button to stop the meter. A button on the dashboard opens the garage doors of Rendezvous, Navy veteran Arnold Forsman's push-button paradise home at San Rafael, California. This electrical Eden is run by 136 switches, 44 motors, and a meter.
And a meter. Wow. Really different country.
Ron's got it going on.
What do you mean?
You didn't see the 2 ladies living there with Ron?
Oh, that's
you didn't
right.
pick up on that, Joey? Are you
didn't.
kidding me?
Maybe one was his sister, man. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I didn't get to see a good-looking Ron, but I saw them 2 sisters. Let me tell you that.
No, I loved, the 40s are great. It's like, God, look, it's a can opener. Look, it's a water hose. Look, you can open the garage with just a push of a button.
But at that time, I didn't know they let women smoke back then.
Oh, they let women smoke. Doctors recommended it.
Oh, I did forget about that. They recommended a lot of things.
Y'all stay tuned. Quick break. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going. But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hey, Tammy, let me tell you about how to bring in those big deer.
Randy, I know how to attract the big bucks.
Ha, very funny. At Prattville Farm Center, we've been helping hunters be successful for over 35 years.
We have the products, supplies, and knowledge you need to get those big bucks.
That's right, Tammy. We don't believe in gimmicks or magic seed. We just believe in sound planting practices that work.
So come see us today at 1154 South Memorial Drive in Prattville.
Now that we're done talking about those big bucks, how about those cute does?
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. How you doing today, Michael?
I'm doing great. How are y'all?
Doing pretty well, and even a little crusty from the party last night, but I'm enjoying myself today. We were just watching an infomercial from 1949 about the house where you just push a button to solve your problems. And it is amazing how far appliances have come. When you look at what they were promoting in the 50s for the everyday housewife, now it is a Jetsons world to a degree. We don't fly in cars, but some of the stuff you have there at Cohen, especially in that back area, all the appliances, we're talking about a Jetsons world indeed.
Well, that's right, and a lot of the stuff that we carry up front, which is made by a company called Control4, gives you the ability to have your lights where you can control all your lights. To me, the coolest part of doing something like that is when you have rooms like your dining room or your kitchen where you have a bank of 8 light switches. How cool would it be to have a single gang light switch on the wall and have all those switches hidden in a closet somewhere or a pantry?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
And then you're pushing a button and you're telling it what scene you want, because invariably you're going to want this light bright, this light dim, this light this way. And you can have it all pre-programmed to where you can just hit that scene. It can be off. It can be nighttime. It can be morning. It can be cooking. You can program it to be whatever you want. But, we even have cool door locks that with a Control4 system, when you unlock the door, it automatically lights the path to get you to your bedroom. It automatically can go to your audio-video system and play your favorite song from Spotify. You can have it programmed to do just about anything. Lights, curtains, blinds, your pool, your sprinkler, your camera system. You can have it all integrated into one location.
Man, that's amazing stuff. And of course, not only do you have the tech there, the actual products, you have the expertise. So folks, buy the stuff, y'all are going to help them get it installed, help make sure everything's set up right. There it goes.
And you don't have to do the whole thing as one big thing. You can do it in stages.
Well, there you go.
Okay.
So you don't have to get a loan. You can just do a part here and do a part later, and you kind of just build upon it. Because when we talk about stuff like light control, you don't need to have every switch in your house controlled with Control4, but you need to have the main ones. Like, it'd be nice to have something by your bed that turns on all the floodlights. So if your wife is at home and she hears a noise, she can hit that button and everything lights up outside.
Right.
To give her more security. So there's a lot of cool stuff.
Well, folks, this is why you got to get in touch with Michael and his team there at Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Ask about the Control4 products if you're interested. You can always go to thinkcohens.com, folks, or call them at 277-8890. But I really encourage you to stop by, see Michael, see that great team. They're at 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. Open 9 to 6 today. What's the hours for this Christmas weekend coming up?
So it's 9 to 6 Monday through Friday. We're going to be 9 to 4 on Saturday. We're closed on Sundays. We'll be closed for Christmas. Tuesday, we'll be back to the 9 to 6 until Friday. Saturday, will be back 9 to 4, and we'll open up on the 2nd of January.
Wow.
Hopefully, right after Alabama wins.
I was about to say, watching those football games, that college football playoffs, it'll be fun this year. So I appreciate it, Michael.
All right. Thank y'all. Have a great day.
You too, Michael.
272-9228. We got to hit this break here. Final hour of news and views on Thursday when we come back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The Supreme Court is being thrust into the middle of two cases carrying big political and legal implications just weeks before the first votes in the Iowa caucuses. The outcomes could determine whether the 2024 Republican presidential primary frontrunner will stand trial over his efforts to question the 2020 election and whether he has a shot to return to the White House next November. Meanwhile, Republicans continue to say that the Colorado State Supreme Court decision to bar former President Trump from the ballot is nothing but politics. The number of Americans applying for unemployment benefits rose slightly last week. The Labor Department reports jobless claims were up by 2,000 to 205,000 for the week that ended on December 16. It's been a strong session so far on Wall Street. The Dow right now up by 168 points. The NASDAQ is up by 115. This is SRN News.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, an evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word FAITH to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word FAITH to 989898, and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our temperatures are going to start to turn around. Today's high right around 60. That's better and close to normal. Good bit of sunshine filtering through some high clouds. Mostly cloudy, not as cold tonight, low 37. Tomorrow's high in the lower 60s with partial sunshine on Friday. Saturday's high 68. That's nice, mostly sunny. Then on Christmas Eve day, rain chances relatively small, 20% or less. Partial sunshine, high 67. For Santa on Sunday night, looks like showers are likely, and then rain and thunderstorms on Christmas Day with a high in the mid-60s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
1819 News.
A bill is in the works here in Alabama that would further address the stealing of mailed packages from a home, which is often referred to as porch piracy. State Senator April Weaver is going to offer a bill in the next legislative session that makes it a felony to steal packages from the front door of a person's home. Weaver says penalties must be strong enough to convince porch pirates that it's not worth stealing something if they land behind bars. An analysis that was done by Safewise has placed Birmingham and Hoover as the fourth worst metro city for this kind of criminal activity. Alabama could become the 10th state to increase the penalties if Weaver's bill is passed. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Are you enjoying 1819 News? If so, consider joining 1819 News as a member. As a nonprofit news organization, we depend on the support of Alabamians like you. Memberships start out as little as $5 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive content only offered to our members. You'll be supporting independent journalism done by people who cherish Alabama values. Become a member today by visiting 1819news.com and clicking Become a Member. That's 1819news.com and click Become a Member today.
A former police officer in Scottsboro is now suing that police department after he was acquitted of child abuse charges. Ryan Manning was acquitted this past June. The lawyer for Manning says that his client has had a lot of economic damage done by those charges and being unable to get work. The lawsuit is seeking compensation for those damages done since the charges turned out to be falsified against Manning. Huntsville International Airport is going to see an increase in travelers starting today and until January 2nd. The airport saw a 6% increase last year, according to the Transportation Security Administration. The TSA screened 2.5 million passengers for 2022. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Now, we were talking about the national move to just take Biden off the ballot in response to taking Trump off the ballot. 1819 News got in touch with Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall today.
Okay.
And what Marshall said is, what we've seen from the Colorado Supreme Court is judicial activism. Since Trump was first elected president in 2016, we've been told ad nauseum that he presented an existential threat to democracy. But now, thanks to this court, we know what such threat really looks like, said the Attorney General of the great state of Alabama. Now, Marshall says there, quote, are no plans to remove Biden from the ballot in Alabama. He goes on, he says, I don't think anyone in state government or any serious person in the country gives credence to the radical view taken by a bare majority of the Colorado Supreme Court. However, Biden will be removed from office by voters in November 2024 because of his disastrous policies and how they've made the people's lives worse off. He has willfully allowed illegal immigrants to stream across our borders by the millions and made ordinary Americans poorer by eroding their paychecks through his inflationary policies. That's why he will lose in 2024, Marshall told 1819 News. So none of this back and forth tit for tat coming out of the state of Alabama, but I still agree with Steve's, the Attorney General's take on all that. Now, there's one clip that started making the rounds yesterday on Twitter, and it's Nikki Haley, and I'm like, am I just being biased because I don't like her, or is this just like the weirdest string of illogical nonsense I've heard in a long time?
Well, I'd love to tell you I'll be an honest judge of character with this, but I'm not a fan of the Nikki Haley anyway. She keeps texting me, and I keep reporting them as spam, but they keep texting me.
Right. Well, and there are a lot of folks kind of upset with Tucker Carlson, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, because when Tucker said, yeah, well, here, I'll just play the clip.
Okay.
This was Timcast did a thing from the Turning Point, big conference. We should go to that next year or something, Eddie.
Where's it at?
I think it was in Arizona this year. I don't know. We can get on a plane.
Nah, it was, Vegas, and that'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, but this is the moment when it happened there, where Tucker is asked about, well, what about a Nikki Haley Donald Trump ticket?
Would you vote for Trump if he chose Nikki as VP? And
would you guys vote for Trump? Well, that's the question that I asked you specifically.
Well, I would not only not vote for that ticket, I would advocate against it as strongly as I could.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, that's just poison. I mean, here's someone who's actively opposed to the interests of the country I grew up in, who endorsed the BLM riots, and who is not only is not left, but is neoliberal in the darkest, most, speaking of nihilistic way, and has no real popular support. Is a creature of the oligarchs. So yeah, that would be reason to oppose the ticket.
Agree 100%. And I think he speaks for, I would say, a huge percentage of Trump's supporters. I support Trump. I do not support Haley.
Right. So this clip started making the rounds of Haley.
Okay.
Let's listen in together. This is interesting logic she's throwing down here.
Right.
Remember when I told you Putin hit rock bottom? Hamas invaded Israel and did all that brutality on October 7th. October 7th is Putin's birthday.
Well, there we go.
Who's the happiest person in the world right now? Putin. Well,
I didn't know they were doing it for Putin.
Yeah, it was on his birthday.
I had no idea. I never tied that together.
But here, let's hear her out.
World right now. Putin. Why? Because the U.S. and the West took all their eyes off of Ukraine, and what did we do? Started looking at Israel. Did Putin call Netanyahu? Nope, not for 10 days. You know who he did call? Hamas. They came the next day and they held hands and said they were friends. We now know the Russian intelligence is what helped Hamas know how to get through that barrier. See the connection.
Seriously?
I have 3 words for that. Russia, Russia, Russia. Like, Russia.
Russia. You know, Putin's birthday is on the same day as the awful attack.
Right, so it was a surprise birthday present.
It was a surprise birthday. Yeah. She don't even talk that way, but that's the vibe that's coming out.
Exactly. I can't. I just have a hard time with that.
No, and we took our eye off the ball. I've been watching Ukraine. I'm still getting updates in my own way on Ukraine. It ain't going well.
Right.
And even if you're going to send more money, more weapons, it ain't going well.
So is her idea of we took our eye off the ball means we need to go give them some more money today to make up for the fact that we took our eye off the ball? Is that what she's kind of hinting at?
Or it could be that because the corporate oligarchs that handpicked her who run the media organizations all of a sudden got focused on Israel, I guess they're not giving as much coverage to Ukraine. But they weren't, even before the awful attack, which it was, there by Hamas in Israel. They weren't covering Ukraine that much because, again, things weren't going well. But, this is just classic neocon Republican. Well, we just got to be stronger and do it harder.
Hot take on her. She's a female Jeb Bush. She got a little more energy, but she's just as big government as her name is on, or they write her checks, let's put it that way. And she didn't deny that, remember? She was about broke, 2 years ago?
Careful, though, Eddie. She's always locked and loaded with those heels or something.
That's not doing much for me.
Yeah, me either.
I like a girl in flats.
Now, we didn't get to this yesterday, but this is Frank Luntz kind of blowing up the CNN surprise party.
Okay.
Like, oh, yeah, Trump's off the ballot in Colorado. Oh, happy days are here again. We have we saved democracy again.
Well, like AOC said, Joey, sometimes you have to use judges to keep your opponents off the ballot.
Now, you sure that was her or the parody account of AOC?
I'm telling you, I'm a new guy at the
Go
whole
to
X thing.
the X platform account. Go
All
to
I saw
the
was
account
the blue
of
checks thing, and
yeah, it'll probably say on it parody if it's a parody.
Okay. All right, I'm going to look it back up.
I don't want you pushing out.
No, neither do I.
Disinformation.
I'm telling you that I'm new to this, and I'm certainly no Jen, whatever you are, doing this. So
actually, that could be like the greatest cover for spreading disinformation. It's like we're just dumb.
Okay, one of them. There's several. Oh, one of them's in Spanish.
Yeah,
I wish I knew Spanish. But there's 2 of them. One has a blue check, one doesn't. What's that mean?
I would have to see. It's like I'm trying to. It's like, son, I'm trying to get on the Facebook.
No, it's the Twitter, which used to be Twitter, now it's X. Keep up, so yeah. And maybe it is a parody account because it says "I'm the boss." Are you mad, bro?
Yeah, I think it's a parody account, bro.
Ooh. Yeah, maybe you're right because there's some good stuff on here.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Oh, that's.
Anyway, here's Frank Luntz raining on that parade that they were having yesterday on CNN.
Polls of Trump voters for years. So the obvious first question, Frank, what do you think the impact of this ruling will be on their support for him?
It's going to be exactly what the indictments did. It's going to be exactly what the criticisms have done. Donald Trump thrives on negativity. He thrives on legal systems that try to hold him accountable. And I'm convinced that his polling numbers are going to go up. Just today, the New York Times published 6 key swing states and had Donald Trump up beyond the margin of error in 5 out of the 6. The polling earlier, a month ago, was significant. Trump is gaining. The more that he is prosecuted, the more that he is condemned, the higher his numbers go as people rally around him. And I would say to the judges, as I said to the Justice Department, you're actually making it more likely that Donald Trump is elected next November by how you are pursuing this. You don't explain the decisions. You don't put things in context. And so Trump climbs and climbs and climbs. And right now, he's beating Joe Biden clearly nationwide.
Well,
So
yeah,
let's get him arrested again.
All right, let's do it even harder.
Right.
Let's
Let's
the same crap from both establishments and both parties. It's like, just do it more.
But it's just me, and maybe it's just me. I'm old and getting grumpier by the day. But do the Republican Party not really have his back on this?
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
there are a
shouldn't
lot
they
of
have
them
just
that
been-
are just neutered.
I mean, if this had been reversed and we told it, and it was Democrat Party doing this, would the screams be a lot louder?
Oh, yeah.
So, what are we doing here? Ready for that third party yet?
Yeah, well, I'm kind of ready for them to just leave me alone. Yeah, at the end of the day.
I waited for that, Joey. They don't.
They just don't?
They don't.
Yeah. Is there a way to get them to leave you alone?
No, unfortunately, there's not. Well, actually, there is, but you have to do some undercover work for them. And I don't think you're ready for that.
What if Texas leaves the union? Want to move to
Man, I've been
Texas?
threatening that for so long.
Yeah, but you know.
That reminds me of my third ex-wife threatened to leave me. I mean, come on.
Third? I thought you said you had no ex-wives.
Exactly. It's an empty threat.
Oh.
They're never had. What the Texas going to leave? Really? Come on. I would love. All that does is get a lot of people very excited. Yeah, they're going to leave. They ain't going nowhere. Come on.
Yeah, but I mean, how could Trump be beating this guy? I mean, Joe Biden, if anything, he's a little sloppy, I admit, but he's a wordsmith when it comes to so much out there. This is Biden trying, we reported yesterday, it's a New York Times poll that young black men in particular, black voters in swing states, are putting Trump over the top in his swing states. So I think Biden's trying to regain that support. Let's see how he's doing at that, Mr. President.
I come from a state that has the 8th largest black population in the country. And as they say, the saying goes, where I come, you brung me to the dance early on.
What?
Oh, let's listen again. Maybe we just didn't hear it right the first time. 1 second.
From a state that has the 8th largest black population in the country. And as they say, the saying goes, where I come, you brung me to the dance early on.
I thought he was talking about Mariah Carey there for a second. Mariah.
I come for the brought me to the dance.
But the one thing that is true about that, and I think I talked about it last week, is the fact that the Biden administration is trying to delay the ban on menthol cigarettes.
Really?
Yes. And they actually called him out. The only reason you're doing this is to try to get more of the black vote.
What, have you seen some of this stuff happening in Chicago in particular, but these sanctuary cities?
Yeah, Chicago, yeah.
Like where it's legal residents, it's Hispanic folks, it's other legal immigrants, it's also a lot of black folks, especially in Chicago, who are none too happy about
finally getting fed up with it.
Yeah.
Especially when some of their relatives, and there's reports of VA guys being kicked out of an apartment that the VA pays for so they can put illegals in there. How can people even how can you as an American, because somebody moved them, you did that. An American went up there, told that guy, you got to go. It's wrong.
It is. 272-9228. Got to hit a break here, but when we come back, we got a clip from Peter St. Onge.
I like that.
And he's going to go into detail about the Well, U.S. Steel turning Japanese.
I think I saw that one. That was
I think
really
they're turning Japanese. I really think so.
That's a good song.
It is a good song.
Yeah, 80s.
Yeah. Reminds me of life.
You think you're turning Japanese? You really think so?
Ooh. Wait, you've never turned Japanese before?
Oh, yeah.
About to say,
Oh, yeah,
look at you dirty dog.
What's happening?
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
This part of the program brought to you by Dylan Rings. We really need to. Is it 3 o'clock already? This part of the program is brought to you by Dylan Rings. And there at Dylan Rings, you're running out of days.
Oh, yeah.
Christmas is what? Monday?
Monday.
Yeah, you're running out of days, folks. Get by there. Dylan Rings today, 119 Brown Springs Road.
Mm-hmm.
And if before you drive by there, before you stop by, maybe you want to look at what they have. Well, you can always go to their Instagram page, just search Dylan Rings, or the Book of Faces.
I see their Facebook just about every day. It's got something new on it, Joey.
And, I'm going to repeat what I said earlier.
Okay.
If you're a fella and you've got a lovely lady in your life, maybe it's a wife of many years, maybe it's somebody you want a wife before too long, or maybe it's somebody you want to impress and show off, I make some money and I'm willing to spend it on
There you go.
But you know that this is a lady in your life that likes things in a particular way.
Okay.
So I'd imagine you could work something out with Josh and Leslie Ryder over there, saying, hey, I want to get something for this lady in my life, but I know she'll want to customize some things. I kind of want to give her a blank check, essentially, to customize a particular piece. So that way, I'd imagine what they could do is give you something that you can present for Christmas, but then also like with a little note saying we can go back to Dylan Rings together and have you, your heart's desires met. Customized by Josh Ryder himself. The man's a true artist. If you can dream it, Josh Ryder can make it a reality. Of course, at Dylan Rings, they do it all. They do cleanings, repairs, including watch repairs, appraisals. They're a full-service jewelry shop, and they're ready to help you out right here at crunch time, gentlemen, when it comes to Christmas.
Yep.
So check them out today. Again, 119 Brown Springs Road, right here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway, kind of where the old fun zone used to be. That's how I remember it. And be sure to tell Josh and Leslie that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the afternoon sent you. More news and views after this.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter, and I'm talking today with an elf.
Hello!
So you live up here at the North Pole and you work for Santa, is that right?
Yeah, that's about it, man.
And I guess you're pretty tight with Santa.
We are like two peas in a pod, man.
So I guess you guys share a money man.
That is correct, sir. We both use our friend David Ernest, who takes care of our money.
David Ernest. I've been hearing his name a lot lately.
I'll bet you have. And if you would like to talk to him, you can call him at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
You know, I heard that one time the elves used to take care of Santa's money.
Well, they did, but he had to come up with another plan.
Well, why won't he let the elves take care of his money?
They kept coming up short, man.
Well, this is your roving reporter. I'm going to go and jump out in front of a reindeer.
Watch it, man. They're endangered.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Hey folks, remember the good old days when Christmas gifts had us playing outdoors? Well, these days, kids only ask for an electronic device that keeps them cooped up inside. So, parent or grandparent, take charge this Christmas and get the entire family enjoying the great outdoors with a Hammerhead Go-Kart by Polaris from CTE Outdoor Power. Now, everyone knows go-karts are fantastic family fun, And whether it's a small kids cart, a medium-sized youth model, or a large full performance machine for teens and adults, Hammerhead carts have the quality, safety, and performance you expect from Polaris. Don't have a place to hide a cart until Christmas? No problem. Whether you take advantage of our 0% interest financing, layaway, or purchase your Hammerhead cart, CTE will store the cart through December 23rd. So call, click, or come by today and reserve your Hammerhead at CTE Outdoor Power, I-85 at Perry Hill Road, and CTEOutdoorPower.com.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
I'm here with Miss Dot at the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall. Dot, the place is looking festive.
Yes, Christmas is definitely here.
I can see lots of things around here that would be great for Christmas.
The booths are stocked with everything you need for the Christmas season. And you know we enjoy your visits to see us and helping us keep up all those old good traditions and maybe starting a few new ones. But we love seeing each and every one of you.
What if somebody's looking for a special gift?
We've got the china, of course, and the crystals and the furniture, and we have the vinyl records and silver plate and jewelry and whatever else you think you want.
All right, Dot, give us those hours of operation.
Monday through Friday is 10 until 6. Saturday is 9 until 6. And Sunday is 12:30 to 4:30.
That's the Eastbrook Flea Market and Antique Mall, 425 Coliseum Boulevard. And for Miss Dot and Mr. Gary and the McDaniel family, they wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thanks for shopping Eastbrook.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the house. Before we get to Peter St. Onge filling us in on what happened to U.S. Steel and how it's turning Japanese.
I really think so.
This part of the program brought to you by XI Repair. And there at XI Repair, Jonathan Strange and his team are ready to help you out, especially if you're in the holiday shopping crunch
we got
here.
those bundles?
Those bundles are amazing. Here, let's grab our cheat sheets here.
A lot of people are going to want cell phones for Christmas.
Oh, and I'm holding the one that has these amazing deals on cell phones. So you can get Samsung products unlocked with 128 gigabytes. They have the latest, or close to the latest model, the S23 for only $559.
That's a good deal, Joey.
It's a heck of a deal. S22 for $412, S21 for $299, S20 for $249. All of these are still great devices, even though they're not the latest. They're really great stuff. And then iPhones unlock 64 gigs. You can get an iPhone 12 for only $412.
Such a good deal.
You can get an iPhone XR for only $263, an iPhone SE for only $199 or $191, an iPhone 11 for only $359.
Wow.
Amazing holiday deals, folks. Get by there. And 1 month free ACO protection plan, as well.
That's a good idea.
What are you looking at?
Well, I've got the bundles over here, Joey. You've got an essential bundle, which will be 3 items. You get the case, you get the screen protection with the $100 protection if you do drop it.
Oh, yeah.
And you get a pop socket or a 3-foot charger. And, you know, we were talking about charger cables. I seen another video last night. Buying these charger cables, which I admit I got one from the gas station. Do you know that that's a way that other people from outside, I guess, unscrupulous people can access your phone through that?
Oh, really?
I had no idea.
I didn't know that either.
Right. So when Jonathan has said before, hey, make sure you get these charger cables that are the right ones, you know, the Apple version and the Samsung version, do not buy the gas station ones. I know why now. And so you can get them from him, and I'm sure he's got, you know, the ones I like are the 6-footer. I know he's got those as well. So don't risk it, man, especially nowadays. They can put anything on your phone.
Yeah, check out XI Repair today. You can always go to xirepair.com or give them a call at 777-1234. Again, that number, 777-1234. And be sure to tell Jonathan, that great team there, that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the Afternoon sent you. Now let's go to Peter St. Onge.
All right.
This is, I guess, what's going on with the sale of U.S. Steel.
U.S. Steel, once the largest company on Earth, is being sold for scrap, thanks to a federal regulatory and trade agenda that is wiping out what remains of honest work. The once crown jewel of American manufacturing, founded in 1901 by Andrew Carnegie and linchpin of the arsenal of democracy, agreed to be acquired by Nippon Steel. Now, back in the 80s, when I grew up amid Ross Perot's giant sucking sound, this would have been the story of the year. But at this point, the loss of a manufacturing crown jewel is just another Tuesday. So first, the details. It's not a done deal. Climate groups are still trying to block it to wring out protection money from the steel industry. And John Fetterman promises to do what he can. They promise to keep headquarters in Pittsburgh, but of course they would promise that until the deal goes through. Bigger picture is, why is it just another Tuesday that we lose a manufacturing crown jewel? And that's easy. A predatory federal government that imposes tens of thousands of regulations mandating everything from green rules, diversity-driven labor rules, and alleged quality rules that are frequently lobbied by large companies to shut down their smaller competitors. These costs sum to pretty shocking numbers. According to a recent study by the National Association of Manufacturers, federal regulation alone cost large manufacturers, so that's more than 100 employees, an average of $25,000 per employee. That's just for regulations. And that's roughly half their salary. For smaller companies with fewer than 50 workers, it's more than double that at $50,000 per employee for federal regulations.
Wow.
In other words, they destroy literally more than the employees make. Put differently, it costs so much to run a factory in America that only a masochist would dare, or a crony who's actually just milking taxpayers. The fact that regulations wipe out the little guy should not be surprising. That is the whole point of regulation. Indeed, one of the very first manufacturing regulations, the Meat Inspection Act of 1906, was specifically lobbied by large meat packers to cartelize and shut out the mom and pop butchers. Problem is, sure, the big guys take a 25 hit, the little guys take 50, they're gone. So far, so good. The big guys can have it all to themselves, but spot the problem. Foreigners do not pay 25, they do not pay 50, they pay nothing. They bounce merrily along, outcompeting our crony megacorporations that have lobbied themselves into oblivion. Eventually, like U.S. Steel, they get acquired, rewarding the very managers who bought the regulations that killed the company. When the smoke clears, the small guys are gone, the big guys are gone, but a whole lot of people made a whole lot of money making it happen.
Yep.
So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained. We are losing an entire way of life. The communities left behind spiral into oblivion. At best, the young flee. At worst, they turn to fentanyl or suicide. Yet Washington just keeps at it, figuring welfare payments will make up the gap, while cutting trade deals that carry every last drop of water for Wall Street, Hollywood, or pharma, but leave export access for manufacturers to wither on the vine. Okay, we'll be watching.
Again, that's Peter St. Onge at Prof. St. Onge, S-T-O-N-G-E, petersaintonge.com.
I just don't
really appreciate that guy's work.
I do too, and I saw that a couple days ago, but I don't think, well, again, our news media is not showing this story at all. Right. It kind of came and went. And
right.
And let's be honest, U.S. Steel went to the highest bidder. I mean, it was sold as basically junk. And it went to Nippon Steel, which is a big corporation in Japan. They earn the paint.
How do you say it?
Nippon.
Nippon?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Nippon Paint Company. But
it's like not more with like a guttural.
Nippon?
Like Nippon?
No, Nippon. Okay. Nippon Paint. But it's a big chemical company. And they picked it up for pennies on the dollar. Now, yet another huge manufacturing thing that we will need here in the U.S. Guess what? It's owned by somebody else. So let's see, we've got a lot of our pork farms are going to China, owned by Chinese firms. And of course, we've never had a problem with that. So now we're doing the steel firms too. At what point is a national, let's say Yosemite is going to be Yosemite brought to you by Saudi Arabia, whoever we're going to have to sell it to. This is just ridiculous.
Well, and I love that Peter points out it's actually all the restrictions here that are driving this. Like, you can demonize the companies for making these moves, and yeah, sometimes they
regulate themselves to death.
Right, but it's the whole system of how we have too much rent-seeking behavior.
Mm-hmm.
It's more a game of pull and privilege than it is an actual game of competition based on fair rules.
And we saw that during the 90s when banks merged like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The only people that made money off that were those few bank managers. We saw that like crazy when Aaliyah, when they were going to merge.
Right.
Hey, we're going to save money. When's that money savings going to kick in? But again, we're told our leaders are leading and we're supposed to be doing good things, and we just accept it. Until you ask them, and then all of a sudden they get a little butthurt.
Well, 272-9228. When we come back, there's a video that's gone viral of a young lady. She's kind of cute.
Yeah.
But she lives on the east side of L.A.
Oh.
And so I've dated men. I've dated women.
Oh.
And then this one guy who's like a really bro.
Yeah.
And he insisted on paying for everything, and I could feel the feminism leaving my body.
He was paying for everything?
Yeah. We'll get to the clip in a second. And we'll see if
still
this
single?
is, like, there are a lot of people asking, like, this is a great victory for, like, as soon as a feminist broad runs up against a man's man willing to pay the bill, she's smitten.
I don't
know. We'll get to it.
Okay.
I think I characterized it fairly, but we'll get to the actual clip here in a second. More news and views in the afternoon after this quick break.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Hello everyone, Robbie Pelt with Capital City Roofing. If you think about it, your home is your biggest investment in life. Your roof covers your home, so why jeopardize your biggest investment on a roofer you don't know anything about when you can deal with a reputable roofing company like Capital City Roofing? We have an A+ Better business rating and the best manufacturers and workmanship warranties available. We do all residential and commercial roofing applications that are certified through the manufacturer to ensure you get the best material and workmanship money can buy. We also have your project in our best interest before and after construction has been done. Don't hesitate to call us if you have any roofing issues or questions. We will match any of our competitors' price and give you the same great workmanship warranty. We also give free estimates. Give us a call today and let us show you the difference. 277-3311. That's 277-3311. Or you can check us out on the web at www.capitalcityroofing.com. Capital City Roofing. We capitalize the roofing industry.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by H&H Carpets, where you will find a complete line of Mohawk carpet with exceptionally clean, smart strand fiber. It's always available and ready to be installed. H&H Carpets, across from Walmart on the Atlanta Highway.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our temperatures are going to start to turn around. Today's high right around 60. That's better and close to normal. Good bit of sunshine filtering through some high clouds. Mostly cloudy, not as cold tonight, low 37. Tomorrow's high in the lower 60s with partial sunshine on Friday. Saturday's high 68. That's nice. Mostly sunny. Then on Christmas Eve day, rain chances relatively small, 20% or less. Partial sunshine, high 67. For Santa on Sunday night, looks like showers are likely, and then rain and thunderstorms on Christmas Day with a high in the mid-60s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. We can't say thank you enough to every one of you who have made Capital Tractor one of the largest Kubota dealers in the U.S. It's because of you. We're honored, we're humbled, we're grateful. Kubota and Capital Tractor, Montgomery, Brundage, and Greenville.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the house.
Hey, Joey.
And, well, we're going to get this clip coming up. It's an East L.A. girl.
East L.A.
I have to admit, she's kind of cute.
It was also a great movie, Born in East L.A. Cheech
Oh,
Marin.
really?
Great movie.
You really do like this one?
Well, the movie, Born in East L.A.
Who's in that?
Cheech Marin. It's about.
I think I've seen that.
Even though he's legal and he has to come back across the border, and back then it was a lot harder to come across illegally.
Right.
So he kind of tracks that. Pretty funny movie.
No, I've seen Up in Smoke where you keep on knocking about you okay.
This is very post
Up in
Cheech and
Smoke.
Chong marijuana
Okay.
thing. This is
Right.
a serious political film.
What brand is that? Labrador, man.
They ask him who's the president. He's like, that cowboy dude, John Wayne.
You know. Well, in a second, we'll get to this East LA chick.
All right.
Let's go to biologist first. Hello, biologist.
I was just calling to give props to one of your sponsors, XR Repair.
Okay.
So I heard my phone, and I've got one of those phones. When she looked at it, she goes, these are like obsolete. I still have a 7. My wife, my daughter's got brand new. I got a 7. Because
Stay strong,
what I
baby.
have. If I could get a flip phone, I would. But that little button broke. Where the little button, you put your little finger on. And she goes, this phone's obsolete. I was like, yeah. But I was like, all right, can I get it fixed? Because I can't afford another phone for the household. Sure. And she looked at it. She stood there. She goes, let me see if we have the part. Went back. We had the part. Gave me a price that was way up under what a new phone would cost, or even a used phone. She goes, we can have it done by 3. I went, wow. Thank you.
Good folks, man.
They really are
And
great that way.
I said my wife can come by and pick it up for me, and for way up under a Benjamin, I got my phone, which is perfectly fine for me. I don't have to have a nice new super duper phone the size of a computer. So I listen to y'all every day. I mean, Joe, you interviewed my wife years ago when she was at 211, but
Okay.
I just wanted, Joanne.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
That's my wife. I've talked to you about the farce of the college system of if we didn't have to take psychology, sociology, history 101, history 102, blah, 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 with it, most degrees like mine in biology could be a 2-year degree. Because the first 2 years is a bunch of junk that I don't use or care about.
Amen.
Art history.
Yeah.
The only reason art history has 100 students is because if they didn't force everyone to take it, there would only be 2 students and no one could pay that professor.
Exactly
So
right.
the vast majority of the stuff I use for my work, I took in the last 2 years. I had to take grade books 1, grade books 2, history 1. That was all junk. I took that in high school.
Right.
So I read the Iliad. I read all this stuff. So even my professor says, if we didn't have to take the forced courses from the liberal arts side, most degrees, even in nursing, could be done in 2 years with the same knowledge with half the price.
Well, there you go.
I'm all about that. But I mainly called to give, kudos to them. They were amazing. They said it would be done at 3. Like I said, way up under a Benjamin and the cost of a new phone. So I'll have a Merry Christmas and wonderful day. You too.
Merry
I'll
Christmas.
every day.
Thank you, sir. Merry Christmas.
Yep. Bye.
272-9228. All right, let's go to this lady.
All right. He's delayed.
So that's what she looks like there. That's the very beginning of the...
She's already fake.
What do you mean?
Look at those eyebrows, man. Come on.
Yeah, they are a little...
Come on, man.
A bit drawn on, I have to say. That's...
Always surprised.
Yeah. But, well, let's see what she has to say
right.
here. Again, this is a girl who claimed the feminism. She could feel the feminism leaving her body. I don't know why this is going. I don't know. Well, here, let's hear her out.
Guys, I went on a date this week and I felt the feminism leaving my body.
See, I wasn't exaggerating.
Was that like her love for men left her body?
Well, let's hear her out.
Guys, I went on a date this week and I felt the feminism leaving my body. I live on the east side of LA, and if you don't know what that means, it's sort of like the artsier part of LA. It's people
Less
say
trashy?
it's like Brooklyn and New York. So I go on dates with a lot of men and women who, live over here. There's always a negotiation about who pays, and that's great. I like to pay for people, all that. But what I will say is that I sort of fell into going on a date with the most guy's guy I've ever been on a date with. And he's from West, Santa Monica. He's a bro, right? A guy's guy is usually not my type.
What do you mean? Why did you go, it's Santa
He's
Monica?
from Santa Monica because he's a dude. He's a man's man.
He's a man's man from Santa Monica.
Lord.
Well, yeah, why don't you come over to Titus? We'll show you what a man is.
A real man is, yeah. Anyway.
The physique might not be anything to look at, but we get the job done.
This right here, let me go ahead and tell you. This is what the perfect man body looks like. This is peak physical condition right here, just so you know.
What was that little... This right here?
This right here, peak physical condition of a man. You'll see. You're aspiring to get there, I see.
Oh, no, I'm working at it. But let her finish.
I cannot remember the last time that I went on a date with like a straight bro. You know what I'm saying? But it befell me. It befell me in an organic fashion. So I'm on this date with this guy, and the thing about a guy's guy is he's putting his card down. He's paying for everything.
What a jerk.
It sort of activated something feral in me, I'm not gonna lie. We went to like another bar and he was gonna go to the bathroom, so I was getting prepared to pay for our drinks because he's been paying all night. Of course I'm gonna pay for the next round, but as he's going to leave for the bathroom, he turns to me and he hands me his credit card and he goes, "Here's my
Just doing a little
card,
mild flexing.
get us whatever."
Right, he's just doing a little mild flexing.
It might be time for me to get away from all these, liberal snowflakes on the east side.
Yeah, she seemed to be like the credit card.
She could really use some education in the
I
real
think
world.
she could use more than just a credit card, if you know what I mean.
I mean, he's doing a little mild flexing. Appreciate that. I had a friend of mine that was struggling with a girl. He didn't know how to impress her. We both worked at Hyundai.
Yeah.
And she lived with her parents. I was like, next time you're over there, drop your pay stub. Accidentally drop your pay stub. That'll get their attention.
See, I saw that video, and there are all these conservatives celebrating it.
What?
Yeah, celebrating that. She learned that the traditional gender roles really work out, and I'm more like, I don't think she learned anything.
You know what she's going to learn a few years from now? That nothing on the internet goes away ever. And so at some point in her life, she's going to have that thrown in her face, probably by her kids, and go, "Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed I was that way." Yeah.
It's a weird time.
I hope she remembers those eyebrows because those are awful.
Oh my, yeah. Let's back that up here, actually.
But it just, how can you take someone serious? It's like it's Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they're not even a close color. I don't know.
Yeah, she's kind of cute.
Yeah, if you're in California and you're the
a man's man from Santa Monica.
You want some chick to. Well, never mind.
Hey, let's go to Sam. Hey, Sam.
Hey, Sammy.
Yeah, she's kind of cute. I hear you, killer. Hey, best thing ever come out of Santa Monica was the song. Santa Monica. Oh gosh. Well, there we go. My memory just failed.
No,
Anyways, Feliz Navidad.
Feliz Navidad.
Yeah, man, I was born in East
East LA.
There's a classic scene in there, Joey.
Oh, to
where,
wish you a Merry Christmas.
Yeah. There's a picture of the Madonna, and right behind her's a radio, and somebody thinks the picture's talking to him at one point.
Yeah.
But the thing was in this movie, if you got caught, they would return you to Mexico. Cheech is having a heck of a time.
Couldn't get back across. Had to get a job and everything over in Mexico.
Well, but did you remember this? I can't believe I remember that. I've only seen it one time, and it was in a theater. Good Lord, but I can still remember that last scene where they finally got across the border. They kept crossing force like they're doing right now.
It literally, that's a good point, Sam. It looks like it, in that movie scene, it looks like it does right now. Where as far as you see for people coming over the hill, it's just people.
Yeah, man. Good times.
But Cheech was a citizen, and he couldn't get back in the U.S.
I know, that was, like I said, but the movie to avoid, Joy, is one called Things Are Tough All Over. They tried, it comes up short. But that was the, oh, good Lord. Damn, the one we were just talking about. Yeah, man, it's good. Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas, Sammy.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Thank y'all.
Hey, I heard somebody dogging out your Napoleon movie, too.
Oh, it was awful.
I think it was somebody that's kind of related to the family or something. But, yeah, they were like, that was just an embarrassment.
Yeah, it's really bad.
So you're going to get the director's cut?
No, I'm not going to get it. It'll be on Apple TV.
Oh, it'll be for $1 at Walmart before long.
Anyway, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. So if you want to tame some of those East LA girls with your masculinity, changing those man boobs back to like a true chest so you can say with your chest, hey, honey, I got this. Take my credit card.
There you go, Joe.
You might want to go by Montgomery Men's Health so you can, feel that edge as a man. You know what I'm talking about,
don't
Eddie. Because, as you get older, or other reasons, it's happening to men in their 20s and 30s, too. It's a true epidemic of low testosterone.
Here in the West.
And so at Montgomery Men's Health, what they can do is, number one, help you know what your numbers are, what your low T score, what your T score is. If you have low T there, it's, again, only a blood draw, only $99.
Very simple. About 30, 45 minutes.
But if you do, in fact, have low testosterone, they have treatments there at Montgomery Men's Health, all sorts of different types, depending on where you are in life, what you're trying to accomplish. And whatever treatment, it can truly change your life. Most men after these low T treatments experience higher energy, better gains in the gym, better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns. You might even notice an increased libido.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that at all. So check out Montgomery Men's Health today. You can always call them at 440-3663. That's 440-3663, or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com and be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie from that radio show News and Views sent you. Got to hit a quick break. Hopefully we'll have Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet on the other side.
I'll call him up.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Did you know that over 12 times a day, someone in Autauga County calls 911 to report a medical or fire emergency? Volunteer first responders are saving lives and property, and you can be part of their team.
Volunteering as a first responder is really about making a difference where it's needed most, and Autauga County needs you now more than ever. Are you ready to answer the call?
To begin your journey, you can find any of the agencies of the Autauga County Firefighters Association on Facebook or visit MakeMeAFirefighter.org.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The River Region's first and only News Talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader here.
In the house.
We're We learned about all sorts of things today, from the fall of U.S. Steel to Nikki Haley getting weird with her logic, like Putin's birthday is also on October 7th.
I didn't know that. I didn't send him a card. I kind of feel bad.
Yeah, and the reason Ukrainians are losing and Putin's so happy is because we didn't propagandize you. Because he had to do that about Israel.
You're only allowed to do that so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. What else did we learn? Oh, yeah, that sometimes in the presence of a man's man, even the most hairy of feminists, who, they can revert back to factory settings, so to speak.
I still don't know. What do you do with that?
Oh, we just can't say it. We got Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet on the phone. Hey, Ray.
Hey, Ray, what's up, bro?
5:30 will never get here.
Oh, no.
Oh, not one of those days.
Well, this morning I took off. Me and Angie took grandkids and sailor to the safari park. And I got to say that my oldest grandchild was thoroughly and loved it. The 2-year-old, no. She's like, these weird things are all up in my personal space, throwing food everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to go get my truck cleaned when I got back, and I'm still finding. So I'm like, this probably wasn't the best idea, but it was an awful lot of fun. I would highly recommend, if you don't have anything to do with kids, take them to that park. It was really fun to see.
All right, then.
I love that park. It's pretty cool.
It really is. It's a neat little place. I'll do it again in about 10 years.
All right.
It'll take me about 10 years to get where I think that was worth the.
Yeah, you forget about it by the end.
My truck over. Yeah, exactly. But I tell you what, Christmas is right on us, guys. I mean, we are here. So let's do two things. Let's not forget the reason for the season. And if you have forgotten to get your loved one something, go ahead and give them the floors they need. We'll give you a gift certificate, wrap up the floor, put it under the tree, and have them come in the next week, pick out what you want, and you'll have the floor done within a few weeks. How about that idea?
Sounds like a great idea.
Great idea. That number for Prattville Carpet, again, 285-8117. And when you call 285-8117, don't only wish them a Merry Christmas. Say, hey, I heard Ray Bowles on with Joey and Eddie on that radio show thing.
All right. Hey, and y'all have a great afternoon.
You too, Ray.
You too, Ray.
See you, bro.
Thanks, guys.
Well, I'm pretty tired. I'm ready to get out of here. But we got a few minutes left. Did we learn anything else?
I have learned that Nikki Haley is obviously obsessed with me because she's texted me twice every single day. You're the guy that's into older chicks, not me. I think there's some confusion going on there.
With that room.
Can I give her your number? Am I breaking any rules by doing that?
No, I don't want Nikki Haley's number.
Well, I don't want to call me either. And I'm already on the do not call list. So, that's how great
That's what you get for sending her money.
I sent her something, but it wasn't money. I did a little drawing at Thanksgiving. You know how you used to draw the turkeys with your hand at Thanksgiving?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can take some of them feathers off, and it's a whole different kind of bird.
That's true. That is true. It's like one of the 12 Days of Christmas birds. Yeah, we learned that today, that everything in the 12 Days of Christmas song is about a bird.
I never knew that, though. That's kind of strange. I never knew that.
Right. Yeah, here, let me pull it up again. Because some folks are like, the first few make sense.
Right.
They're clearly birds.
But the pipers, piping, I didn't know that was sandpipers.
Yeah.
And the milking maids,
eight maids of milking are magpies or cattle egret.
And I know egrets are the white cowbirds.
And drummers drumming is ruffled grouse. And lords of leaping, cuckoos. Cuckoos.
Got a lot of them around here.
Oh, yeah. It's a weird time in America.
Yeah, you know what, though, Joey? I've seen some old videos from back in the 70s, again, where I was a very young child, but just watching politicians and the politics of that time, it's not as weird as I thought. I'm not as worried as I once was. Because there were really some wild things going on back then, too. And we seem to kind of correct it.
Yeah, it's almost like things are getting better, even though it seems like...
honestly, it is.
Our doom is nigh.
Yeah. To me, I feel better because more people are waking up.
Well, on that happy note, let's get out of here. Happy hour with Greg and Rosie. They're next. Y'all stay tuned.